from the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. How we doing? It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What do you say, Rob?
Is this on? Do I have this working?
I don't know.
Good Lord.
Acting like my dad.
Is that how your dad acts?
When he's trying to do FaceTime.
Oh.
So how you doing, son?
Dude, just saying it at your face.
I am.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, man. Oh,
What a morning.
man. What a morn. We are, if you are watching on the YouTubes,
We
first of all,
apologize.
thank you. Secondly, yeah, we apologize
And
because
I hope it is going to YouTube.
once again, how many cameras are in this
I
room,
don't know.
Vic?
We
How
have
many? There's six.
one,
Yeah.
two, yeah, six.
All right, we got six camera set. No, it looks six. We got a 6 camera setup in here.
And we're over.
Not one of them works today
Not a one.
because for whatever reason we haven't figured out a way to cool them off, and they leave them running all night. So when we get here in the morning, they're all overheated.
I blame your
Pleasure.
dashing good looks in ruining these cameras.
That's
I think it's the
probably what
heat.
it is.
Your
You know what?
guatemalan heat.
Well, it was
That's
80 degrees in the studio this morning. So
See?
yeah. Since why is it 80 degrees?
I have no idea.
It's funny because in the summertime they are so obsessed with saving a few bucks that they won't run the AC in here at night. But then in the
Oh,
winter,
yeah. And it
in
turns
in the
on like
winter
a-
time, they crank that heat up like.
Well, it might blow a pipe in the summer. That's self-preservation. In the winter, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to roast this thing in the wintertime. Like listen, it's nice to come in and be warm, but it's frigid outside, like 24 degrees when I got here. And as soon as I walk in the door, I'm like, oh my God, I need to take my hoodie off.
Yeah, you get assaulted by the
But
heat.
they keep it warm in here at night, and apparently too warm for our camera system. So as you'll see, we are on a 2-camera setup.
Check this out.
Oh, here we go.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch the Dallas. Watch this.
Nothing.
No,
Wait.
no, you don't know what you're doing.
See? Do you see how Dallas changed from backwards? Watch my screen. Watch the screen.
Let's see.
This is magic. You ready?
Is it going to turn
Wa-
into a Super
watch,
Bowl
watch, watch
banner?
where it flips. See? See?
No,
magic.
nothing
It,
yet.
it's on his. You got to wait
Yeah.
a second for it
It'll
to
come.
get
It'll
over
come.
to the
watch,
people.
Watch
Are
how
you
it goes
making
from
it
one
a-
side to the other.
Are you making it a Super Bowl banner? Or
I
something?
am. I was
I think you're changing it only on your screen
Yeah.
Oh,
because
it
it's not
doesn't-
changing for us.
really.
Yeah,
Well, then why do I change it?
I
Yeah.
have no idea. To
That's
make
weird.
you're trying to make yourself look good.
Well, I mean, I guess so. In my own eyes, I can read Dallas the right way,
right.
Right.
but it's always the right way for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I find that disconcerting.
Good
I find that
choice of
there's some
vocabulary.
kind of alternate reality out
What
there.
I do like is that our little boxes here, like my side and your side match
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Like, look.
That's
Ooh.
kind of crazy, right?
Right there, yeah.
Oh, well, now you ruined it.
Wait,
Yeah,
I can fix it.
right there. And it looks like, oh, hey.
Funhouse. Hey, that's cool.
You want to see a trick? Ah!
My hand.
I'm going to reach into the magic box and pull out nothing.
Hey. The
Watch this,
prize
though.
of the day.
Watch this.
Magic.
Explain
Explain that to me.
And I put it back. Yeah.
Hey, here, pull my finger. It's Thursday, man.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, boy.
Oh man, what a day. Well, listen, man, you ain't gonna bring me down on a Thursday, on a small Friday. It's a good day to be here. We got plenty to discuss today. Tomorrow, Rob and I are making a trek.
Yes, we are. For you people.
We're going to catch a home game for the San Antonio Spurs in Austin, Texas.
You know, I feel like I'm venturing into enemy territory.
Oh, you know what's going to really piss you off? I haven't been in there, but I bet that arena's really nice.
It's a palace.
And
yeah.
We're going to go, man. Why can't we have nice things? But
they're not going to get Wemby tonight, though.
But tonight's not what matters. Are we going to get him tomorrow?
Well, I think they'll roll his carcass out there to play once.
He better.
At least 5 minutes.
You think Austin's going to pay for him long term?
We gotta bring out the show
the prize pig.
We gotta bring out our blue ribbon. This is the big time, baby.
Yeah, can't be messing it up in the big city. Gross. Either way, we're gonna go up there tomorrow, and we're gonna eat some good barbecue, and maybe drink some good beer, and then we'll go watch a middling basketball team is what we're gonna do. And
I don't know, for those on the socials that follow different Spurs sites, Spurs Zone, Spurs Report. One of them, Spurs Report, Dusty Garza is a guy that he's been kind of plugged in with the Spurs for a long time, and I trust I trust what he has to say.
You trust the dust.
Well, I appreciate that he has. I respect what he has to say.
Okay.
And yesterday he posted, "All right, Spurs fans, let's look at this realistically. We sit in 12th. Look at the teams in front of us. This is not a playoff.
Not the year.
It's not. We're not going to the playoffs. Let's go ahead and get past all of the let's chase. And if this guy's starting, maybe no. Best case is you end up in 10th in a play-in. That's basically the best case scenario, and that would involve win streaks. And we got a lot more road games. So we're asking just about the impossible as we start the end of our season. This is the last hurrah for the Spurs as they head into the offseason.
Yeah,
and our expectations need to be kind of tempered, I think.
It's going to end up being, I think, a disappointing season. Although, really the idea that the Spurs sit at 23-29 and their scoring differential is minus 1.4. It means that they're losing a whole lot of coin flip games.
Yeah.
And
if you're an optimist, you look at this team and you go, okay, what did we want to get done this season? And let's say, keep in mind, when we were writing our short-term, long-term, and goals as we were preparing for our future, what we wrote down a year ago or when the season was done included Pop as the head coach.
Right.
So when you look at 23-29, you go, if Pop was here, would we have a 500 record? Probably. And you look at the point differential and go, well, not just probably. I would say the preponderance of the evidence tells me we'd have won 4 or 5 more games just because the greatest coach in team sports history, at least one of them, was coaching us last year. So we could count wins because of coaching. Well, we didn't get that. But then you go, okay, but if he would have, we would have been there. And then what's the other thing we want to do? We wanted to start building the pillars, not just the foundation of this franchise, but the pillars. And we got one of them, and we got another one now. So I think you could measure this season.
Maybe 2 of them.
Maybe. So I think you can measure, not maybe, what am I saying? We have 3 pillars.
Yeah.
But we can measure this season, if you're an optimist, as a success, even if they don't go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly growth from a year ago. They've already surpassed their win total from a year ago, which is that's by the All-Star break. So there's obvious growth. But
see, there's the but though. It's still, damn, you can't have a guy like Wemby and waste these years.
You can't
because we hit
you know what? I've said this before, and I know it's not a happy discussion. It will not shock me at all if Wemby's one of these guys who, after his first deal, finds his second deal somewhere else. Because the amount of money he's able to make could make up for any kind of bird rights or whatever kind of extra money he could get by staying in San Antonio. If you put him in a market like New York or LA or Miami, like the amount of money he can make goes up dramatically. And that sucks, but that's why I say, and I agree with what you're saying, you can't waste these years. You don't have time for nonsense, because it's almost like it's almost like a Jaden Daniels right now, or CJ Stroud. You can't mess around because right now you're in that sweet spot where you've got your quarterback that should be making $35 million a year, and you've got him making nothing.
Right.
You've got to strike while it's hot, because once you pay him $40 million, everything gets a lot harder. That's the same with the Spurs. You've got this guy right now. Mm-hmm. He's stuck. He can't go anywhere. I don't know that I say it stuck, like he doesn't want to be here.
No matter what, he'll sign his next deal with you. He will. I mean, that's just a given because he can make that much more. But that next deal, the next one, the super mega
super
deal.
max, all the money in the world. Yeah, this isn't like, it's not necessarily that he's here like Tim Duncan and David Robinson were forever,
which gives you 5 years.
Yeah,
that's that. You've got a 5-year guarantee. If you do even that worst case scenario, unless he turns into Kawhi and disappears on you, you got 5 years.
Yep.
And we did, best case scenario this year, I think if you wanted to count this year as a total success, would have been get into the playoffs one way or another and win a game or two in the playoffs. But that would have been best case. So maybe we're sacrificing 3 or 4 games a minimum of 4 games that we're not going to get that we wanted. But other than that, I think apart from the bitching that I'm going to do as I watch this team lose in weird ways for the rest of the season, I think once we debrief and really look at what this year did, there was some growth in places we didn't expect to have to grow, and that's the coaching staff. And we were blessed with adversity there. I think we can say that Wemby is better today than when he started at the beginning of the season. I think we can safely assume that. I think we can say that the draft, the Spurs draft, was a world-class success, possibly the best draft pick in Spurs history. I mean, it's easy to draft number 1. That's an easy thing.
No, from where they were, you can.
You can make the argument. I mean, it was an easy pick, but it wasn't. There was some other dudes that we talked about, but I think you could argue that the Spurs had their greatest draft in their history by drafting 4 and getting what will probably be the Rookie of the Year. So when we quantify it, I think we'll all be really happy, but it will feel like we had a good meal, but didn't get a dessert. We just didn't get the thing that closed the fine meal off.
That's the best draft night was the night that they probably drafted or they traded for Kawhi on draft day.
But I'm talking
the
about
guy that you took.
We thought it would be great. It might have been a colossal failure. Look at Reed Shepherd sitting on the bench in Houston, and it's not that. We got exactly what we wanted.
Yep. Again, there's some things to be happy about. It's just, it felt like there was going to be a real jump. What's crazy about this? I looked at this stat the other day. I want to make sure I'm accurate on it. I think the Spurs are like 500 against the West. And
that's crazy.
No,
right?
16 and 18. So they're just slightly under 500, which means their chances against the weaker half
weren't bad.
That means they are 7 and 11 against the Eastern Conference. And if you are just 11 and 7 against the Eastern Conference, which you should be, because those are
those games that slip
garbage teams, you'd be over 500 now. And it's like,
think about the Miami game just the other day. I mean, that's a game they should have had.
The Charlotte game.
The Charlotte game. You go, there was games where you go, what happened?
And you're not losing to the Cavs or the Celtics. You are losing to them.
But they're playing them.
But losing to those bad Eastern Conference teams in heartbreaking fashion is such a frustrating thing because you should be past that.
So you go, if Pop was here, even if we just won a half of them, we'd be at 500. So I'm going to quantify this, as we start this stretch run. We're going to have I see it coming. It always happens. We get home from the road trip. We get a good meal. We get into our own bed and we win. We rip off 5 straight, just because the practice and all the stuff that they got to do on the road, they bring home. And pretty traditionally in that month, we go off. We play well because we're playing half the teams we're playing don't want to win. So it makes it a whole lot easier. And we have that kind of edge to us. We've done it every year. Well, we'll close out and be just right where we needed to be to get the max amount of ping pong balls. And I think it'll be even more frustrating when we're sitting in March and we've won 4 or 5 and we're probably playing better than some other teams that are going to make the playoffs. And we're not going to go. And we're going to go, dang it. if we'd have won that game in December, if we'd have taken that game in February, we'd be in a different place.
I heard a lot of people saying that last year. As soon as they knew where they were in the ping pong balls, they started trying to win.
Yeah, and having fun. And it was a fun game to watch. And
that's a frustrating thing, though, is like knowing that you could have been doing that all along. All right, let's take a break. We'll continue this conversation. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Good morning. We did clear that trouble spot in Selma, 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. That stall is cleared. On I-10 eastbound at 37 southeast side of downtown, we do have a stall. It's off to the shoulder. And downtown 35 lower level southbound Main to Cesar Chavez, ongoing road work that's got the road rate reduced to 2 lanes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
It's Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Get matched to your perfect bed now and sleep at night. Plus, if you see a lower price, they'll match it. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm to upgrade today. Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live at Round Table Pizza, the Park North location. Come out and see us and have some pizza. We're going to talk to the General, John McClain, about some Hall of Fame stuff and how are the Texans going to use their salary cap money.
Plus the Spurs with that home game tonight in Austin.
Yeah.
The Blitz starts at 2.
It does.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you seen the Saturday Night Live music thing?
No.
He's on it.
Is he?
Yeah, he does a great job. Eddie Vedder did a great job. Covered some
That's
other
good.
songs. He's one of those guys that's aged quite gracefully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess it's not surprising. Like I think he's like the only guy from that era who somehow avoided becoming a junkie. Like all the other like grunge era singers were like, oh, you know what sounds good today? Heroin.
You're gonna need some heroin if you're gonna sing.
And Eddie was like, I'll just
mumble. I'll just continue to mumble.
Get high
I'll
and
just have a water.
I'll have weed and water. Yeah. And yeah, it turned out
great.
You know, he makes it he made it all right, Bubba. Made it all right. All right. We were talking about the Spurs and the I don't want to say the disappointment that is, but well, I guess it is kind of a little disappointing.
Yes. No, let's not sugarcoat it. This is a team that, if fully functioning with a head coach and guys healthy, should be in the playoff fight. They should. You've got one of the top 10 players in the world now. You have the Rookie of the Year. You have Harrison Barnes. You've got enough talent. You've got enough talent to be in the playoffs. Now you got to become a good team, and they haven't. Well, they've become a better team. They've just not become a playoff team. So we are short. But that being said, there are reasons and there's excuses, and I think that the Spurs have some valid reasons for why they're where they are.
They should. You're right, though. When you think about what this roster has, and especially now with De'Aaron Fox, there's very little reason why they shouldn't be a playoff team.
You got teams there's 15 teams in the NBA that said, if you gave me De'Aaron Fox, Wembanyama, and Stephen Castle, and the rest were the team that I already have, minus their stars, they would take it to the bank.
But let's also keep in mind, and this maybe puts it in perspective, the Phoenix Suns have they've got better superstars than the Spurs.
I don't care about whereabouts. They got their own issues.
They're probably not making the playoffs
You're
either.
right,
So
but
it's
I don't
like,
care about them. You know what I mean?
No, I get
I'm
it.
not going to judge myself versus them. They got their own issues. Thank God I don't have some of their issues, but they got their own problems that they should have been able to solve too.
Well, what I'm saying is like it could be worse.
It could be.
No,
Absolutely.
Like you've got Wemby and Steph Castle who are very young. You could have a core of aging stars like KD and Bradley Beal and one young stud in Devin Booker and feel like, man, we should be in a much better place than we are.
The discussion you have with a scotch late at night. You know, that's the discussion you have after work. And you go, okay, I know we're busting our ass and we're mad at each other, but let's be real here. And let's continue to attack things like this was an utter failure. But it's not. There's reasons for it. But you don't talk about it like that when you're at work. You act like this is a colossal failure.
Yes.
And let's do everything we can to fix it right now, knowing full well if we don't get it all done, we're still a whole lot better than where we could have been.
Right.
You know? So that's what's going to leave this season and, you know, this rodeo road trip and all the things just kind of unfulfilling because there's going to be, we know it's coming, a pretty miraculous win here and there where we beat a really good team and go, but for, and then we're going to have nights where we lose to Charlotte on a last-second shot, and you go, how the hell did that happen? And it's going to continue with that, and we're not going to get the opportunity to go to the playoffs and start to learn how to win games that we didn't play well enough to win.
Yeah.
And that's the next step for the Spurs.
And I think all this does is push back the timeline a year because, listen, the truth of it is, let's say you get to the play-in and let's say you win. The idea that this Spurs team, even if this Spurs team is playing at their peak, could beat the OKC Thunder or the Grizzlies or the Nuggets in a playoff series right now, it's just not realistic.
No, but you want to go into the fight.
But you want the experience. Yeah, you want to say, okay, well, this is how far you want to measure it. Yeah. You want to see how far away you are. And unfortunately, it looks like they're not going to get a chance to even measure it.
And we watched how the Nuggets did it. They got good. The incremental growth, they got a little better, they got a little bit better, and then they win a title. I mean, they did it the way that the Spurs are trying to do it.
Yeah. And the more I've looked at it, the more, and this is not a great thing, but when you think about where the Blazers are and how bad the Blazers were a year ago too, and you think about, man, they've got with Anthony Simons and Shadon Sharp and Klingon, like the DeAndre Ayton, they've got a pretty young core too. They're exactly where you are, and you go, okay, maybe this is where you're supposed to be.
Right. I mean, we have more talent than they do. We do.
I think so. Yeah. It's probably maybe you should be a little better than them, but it is like but you still have kids.
And we're going to watch Portland do what the Spurs did. Portland's going to have some upsets as things get closer and closer to the end of the year because they want to win every possible chance they get, and half the teams they play don't. So it's easier to get on streaks, and it's easier to start feeling good about yourself. You win a couple of games against bad teams, you go play a good one, suddenly those get a little bit easier. So I do think we're going to be happy with some of the progress over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to wonder about the what-ifs.
What I don't want to happen is for the Spurs to suddenly – and I know the instinct is this, and I usually think this way too. Like, once you realize that you don't have a chance to make the playoffs, start doing the best you can to get the best draft pick you can. I don't want the Spurs to do that.
We're not there anymore.
I want them to continue to try and fight because the truth is there are 6 or 7 teams in the NBA that are they're just way worse than you. Like, there's no like fighting about it. Like, you're not going to be worse than the Pelicans. You're not going to be worse than the Jazz. You're not going to be worse than about 4 teams in the East, like Brooklyn, Toronto, Charlotte, and Washington. Like, you just can't be, even if you try.
Right, you couldn't nosedive fast.
But so the tanking it's silly. Just realize you're probably going to pick somewhere between that 9 and 13, and wherever you land in there, 13 and 9 aren't going to be that much different. Just play ball.
Yeah,
and
just use these games to figure out what you're going to draft at 9 and 12. Use the games, and expect, it's going to, guys like us are going to bitch.
Yep.
But, expect some weird lineups late in games just to see who works well with others, who plays well alone. And maybe we'll figure out exactly the type of dude that we want that's separate from the obvious. We all know we need a big that can rebound and patrol the paint. We all know we need a shooter. That's not hard to disseminate. But maybe you find something else in there. Maybe you find a little crease, a little niche of something we didn't know we had. Let's use it that way. But it's hard to do it when guys like us are leaning on them. Go win. What are you talking about? Let's go do this. We got De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, and Steph Castle. There's no reason not to win.
And also, let's keep in mind, especially right now, they're in the midst of a game where they're 12-game streak where they're. I know these two games tonight and tomorrow are home games, but they're playing 12 games in a row without being in their building, and that's going to be difficult on anybody, but particularly on a team full of kids.
Yep. And
And
it toughens you up. I mean, everybody says that. Every Spurs says that first road trip sucks balls, man.
Yep.
You just don't know where you are when you wake up in the morning, and that's no way to live.
and that's especially when after they made a trip to Europe.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a herky jerky season. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Twin Peaks got 4 locations around San Antonio, and they have a great theme party vibe. Every year, every couple of months, they throw something together, the likes of which you just cannot miss. And here comes another one. In the depths of winter, when it's 25, 19, 18, 10 degrees outside, you need to put on your beanie and put on a bikini. Yeah, go to the Beanies and Bikinis party at Twin Peaks all week long. From the 20th today through the 23rd, they got specials that you can cozy up with. You ever had some Elijah Craig? Neat. They got it. We're talking about the top of the line bourbons, and they're celebrating them that way. And then we talk margaritas. $5 house margaritas, $6 Peaks margaritas, $9 Twin Peaks barrel select margaritas, and $12 spicy strawberry margaritas. Celebrate National Margarita Day at Twin Peaks with refreshing margarita specials. They got pricing going all the way right to your wallet. $5 drinks, perfect for the day you need to celebrate almost daily. Head over any one of those 4 locations. Bikinis and Beanies is going on. The drink specials are being played out by those mixologists. Why do you go? It's always those specials. It's always those themes. But the secret is those scenic views.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you're tired of drinking the same old beer, good news for you, friends. Karbach Brewing has you covered. They've got something for everybody in their lineup. No matter what you like, they can improve on what you've been drinking. Whether it's a Hopadillo, a Love Street, or a Crawford Bock, they've got something for everybody. And Karbach has one of the leading IPAs in San Antonio, Hopadillo IPA, an iconic Texas IPA packed with the bitterness of hops from around the world that the hop monster craves. And one of Karbach's leading brands, the top seller in San Antonio, in fact, is the Love Street Blonde. It's a state of mind, a San Antonio state of mind. It's a Kolsch-style blonde, hopped delicately with floral German hops. This beer has the clean malt profile that you're looking for. And if you're used to drinking cerveza, they've got that as well. The Karbach Cerveza Especial is right for you. Like I said, something for everybody. And when you're in Houston, make sure you go check out the brewery, check out all the beers they have on tap. But while you're here in San Antonio, you want to try something new, why don't you try out a Karbach?
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well out there on a Thursday. This music is depressing.
I like
this is a dance classic.
The Smiths.
Yeah, this is like
This is great. This is one of the great records of all time.
it is, but
It's do drugs and die music.
right. This is like I'm alone in my in my studio apartment, and I'm leaving
Petting your cat.
I'm leaving a burnt up spoon on my coffee table and just laying down to die.
It's do drugs and die music.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
But
you know, it's fun.
It's just what it sounds like. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. That's what I picture happening when anytime that song's on, I'm like, oh man, this poor bastard. It's just he's had enough. It's all over for him.
This is the end.
Can he find a vein? Well, what are you gonna do? You have the Brigade bar up?
I can get it up.
Yeah, my computer's playing double duty, so I'm not able to see what's going on the Brigade bar today. Vic, you might have to keep us up on some of that stuff, but I know you said somebody in there was saying just trade Wemby. That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Let's see here. It was Vince Trevino. Cut trade Wemby's. Let's let him go to a championship contender.
Why?
When Wemby will never win a championship with the Spurs. Let's be realistic. That's what he said.
Okay.
And then
what a sad life you must live.
I know. I don't know. Let's see who else is in there. See, border jumper. What does he say?
There we go.
Let's see. Yeah. So true. Spurs have a chance to double their win total from last year in Wemby's second year. And you're bitching. Talk about spoiled fans.
Yeah. Michael Jordan didn't have a winning season until year 4 in the league.
It's been a minute.
Imagine that like the Bulls fans were like, you know what? 3 years we've had this guy. We're under 500 every year.
We are spoiled.
Let's trade him away. Cut bait.
Like, you know, Robinson shows up and we win like 40 more games the next year because we so obviously held him out. So we were terrible on purpose. And then, you know, Duncan arrives with Tim already. With David already here. after having that, injury type year where we end up with the ball, and we just hit the ground running. We were going to get better just because of the circumstances.
Those teams hadn't bottomed out the way this version bottomed out.
Different thing to expect. What we did before is ridiculous, and above and beyond that, the league is different now. You can't hold on to dudes the way you did before, so it's just a different world. And the idea about never winning a title, I think that's always in the back of your mind, as you said. I mean, the clock is ticking.
Sure.
We got 5 years, and we don't want to have to ever run into the situation we did with Tim, where Tim was, 40% gone, but for one coach saying no wives, the whole thing would have been different. And we don't ever want to get there again. So as long as we're not there, everything's working according to plan.
I just think, any discussion of trading away a guy like that, look, I know everybody just assumes that Wemby is going to be the best player in the world. I'm not sure I'm there yet. Like I see enough holes in his games that I'm like, but I do think that he is going to be a top 5 player in the league year in and year out. You don't get rid of those guys when they're young,
unless you're Dallas.
Well, yeah, and all anybody could do is go, what?
Well, yeah, unless you pull the biggest idiotic move since the Vikings and Herschel. I mean, one of those moves that only happens every 40 years.
And saying trade him to a championship contender, that's like
to Milwaukee.
Like what? That's like saying, I mean, if they were going to do that, the Spurs should have just said, well, listen, man, we've got the first pick. We could draft Wemby, but
he deserves too good. Yeah,
he deserves to play for someone better than us. Let's just pass on him and take some lesser play. Like, the whole idea of that is absurd. It
doesn't make any sense.
No, you try to become that team, and you're not always going to succeed. I don't know if the Spurs will win a title with Wemby either, but you certainly squeeze that lemon till it's out of juice.
Yeah. And that's the expectation. But just make sure we got lots of ice and sugar for that lemon.
Exactly.
Make sure we got all the sidebar stuff.
And so far they're adding some sugar, adding some ice. They're doing their damnedest.
If I'd have told you, the Spurs are 2-3 with De'Aaron Fox.
Would it surprise me?
It's funny how the Spurs are better with him.
Sure.
I mean, it's obvious, but
they're working him into things,
right? But it doesn't feel like we're 2-3 because we are better, and we've lost some dumb games. But,
I mean, the Charlotte and Orlando losses are so frustrating that those feel like 5 losses.
Yeah, so I feel like we're better for him, and we're playing better basketball, certainly more fun basketball. But we are 2-3. We have a losing record after this thing. And that's got to fix, and the losses are for, they're inexplicable kind of losses where you don't really know what the fix is other than go back and play another game because short range jumpers kill you, long range miracle jumpers kill you. You just got to get yourself out of that situation. And the fact that we're 2-3 kind of stunned me because I didn't, I felt like we were playing better. We're just losing stupid ways.
Well, between today and next Wednesday, the Spurs play 5 games. Wow. So in the next 7 days, they play 5 games.
Wow.
And I don't think there's one of those games that isn't winnable for the Spurs. Obviously tonight against Phoenix, I think is
be tough. No Wemby, but
right. But
they're terrible.
They're nothing special at all.
Edwin came in, believes they're not going to make the playoffs.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs either. Detroit are they improved? Absolutely. Are they better than the Spurs right now? Yeah, probably. But
if Wemby's playing,
they're not some unstoppable force either. You've got 2 in a row at the Pelicans,
who don't want to win,
and then you're at the Rockets, which is it's not a long travel game. It's not onerous, and the Rockets are, at least before the All-Star break, were in a lull themselves. Like these are winnable games. And after that, you go to Memphis, and then you've got OKC, so it's going to be tough. But and you also have the advantage of, again, being a young team with young legs. So playing 5 games in 7 days is, you go 3-2, 4-1 in this stretch. If they go 4-1 in this stretch, we might be having a different conversation next week, like a total opposite conversation of like, hey, maybe this team can make the play-in.
Yeah, I think we're going to have that conversation maybe twice before the end of the season.
But if they go 2-3 again, or God forbid they go 1-4, then we're starting to say, like, are they trying?
Well, we've got to do that, and we also have to go into every game looking at what is fool's gold and what is truly gold.
Yeah.
I mean, taking care of the Pelicans 2 games in a row, that's fool's gold.
Sure.
You're thinking you're better. You're not. You just played a team who had absolutely no desire to win. They were going to do everything possible to lose.
Although they lost a game at Charlotte where you would have thought that exact same thing.
Yes, and then that's when you get mad. That's when you go, all right, this is where we get pissed. This is where things need to be a little bit different. But the gimme games, shoot, don't get too much into it. Don't think, oh, Charles Bassey's suddenly a 20-point, 20-rebound guy. No, he wasn't playing against anybody.
All right, let's talk about what we expect to see tonight on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
For decades, Rudy's has been serving Texans incredible barbecue. But they've also been a community champion as well. And now when you visit any of their 4 San Antonio locations, just make a $10 donation to the Puppy Food Bank. And you'll receive a certificate valid for $15 in free barbecue and 2 soft drinks. So do the numbers. That's a $22 value for just $10. You'll enjoy great barbecue for less, and Puppy Food Bank can save more pet lives. Thank you, Rudy's.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rock's the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rock's has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rock's know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Join the Blitz today for a live broadcast from Roundtable Pizza Park North. Have a slice, talk sports, and enjoy delicious pizza and cold drinks. Plus, score some deals during happy hour starting at 3. See you at Roundtable Pizza in Park North.
Take that, rewind it back. Morning Huddle 94.1. We got a giveaway at 8 a.m. Jarrett Cantrell tickets with Filter. Filter's a pretty big deal to be like a
the opening band.
Yeah.
They're a bigger when you started playing their music yesterday, I was, man, who's opening for who?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, when Jerry Cantrell and Alice in Chains, they were a huge band. But that's February 27th at the Aztec, the I Want Blood tour.
It's a week from today. Right?
Yeah, we'll hook you guys up with another pair of tickets at 8 a.m. or in the 8 a.m. hour. I can't guarantee it's going to be right at 8 a.m. because I'm forgetful. That's just what I am as a person.
We force you to stay here and listen until we.
That's right. Now, at some point,
until we remember.
At some point, Vic is going to be like, "Hey, remember, we got those tickets," and I'm going to go, "Oh yeah." And I'm going to say caller number 4, and if you're that guy, you're the big winner. What do you expect the lineup to look like tonight? How, with no Wemby, I know it's a unique situation, but what are your expectations of the way this roster is going to look
Sohan gets
tonight?
the start. We play small ball. Sohan gets the start. He defends Durant. That will, that's part of it. I'm thinking more about the front side of the offense. We really have to talk about who should be starting and who should be sitting as far as Chris Paul and Steph Castle. This is the first time we've talked about it, but now we've gone through the All-Star break. As we talked about earlier, we've pretty much decided it's going to be difficult at best to make a playoff run. So it's not about wins and losses anymore. So what would be the reasoning to continue to play Chris Paul? Now, I have reasons. I mean, I can tell you why you do. I can justify him continuing to do it. But why would you think you would continue starting Chris Paul if you're Mitch Johnson? What would be the reason? Is it about improvement? Because it could be.
Is it about not putting too much on Castle's plate
early?
early?
I think I could. I'll tell you truthfully, I could justify Chris Paul starting for the rest of the year at the detriment to Steph Castle, because it will be. But I could justify it if you're telling me, okay, we got to start Chris Paul because it's his point guard play that is helping Wemby become what we want him to play. We stunted Wemby last year. In his rookie year, he spent the first half of his season with Jeremy Sohan as his point guard.
Right.
Well, that stunted him for half the year. Having a good point guard matters because you got to learn how to run the routes. You know what I mean? And when you run the route, it has to be a complete pass.
I want to ask you, not in the grand scheme, but like tonight, what do you think the value of Wemby is? We'll do that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
This report is sponsored by Rocket.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business. Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it, and will beat any print quote. Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs. No problem. I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens. Totally. I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing. I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Guys, if you ever spend time on social media, you'll often find yourself just being hit with bad news and worse comments, and you'll see how everybody's life is so picture perfect and they've got this great job promotion and you're wondering, man, where am I? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing. Imagine how you'd feel if you just spent 45 minutes focused on how you're doing. That's what they're about at Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. And the best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. If you're dealing with stress, anxiety, you want to be more present and focused, you want to sleep better, you want to have better relationships, you've got to work on yourself. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall being. So take the first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-384-3434, 800-384-3434, 800-384-3434.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot on I-10 eastbound between Medical to Callahan. That's closed with a vehicle fire. Now, this is on the frontage road. The main lanes of the freeway are open. Again, this is I-10 frontage road eastbound between Medical to Callahan. That's closed with a vehicle fire. Do have a fire department on the scene. Loop 14 eastbound Nacogdoches. That wreck is still there with 3 right lanes blocked. 10, 12-minute delay has you slow from airport. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs are finally coming home. Well, kinda. They're playing in Austin tonight and will face Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns at 8:30 at the Moody Center. The NFL has informed its teams that the 2025 salary cap will be roughly $277.5 million, or up to $281.5 million, which is an increase of nearly $26 million over last year. That sound you hear is players applauding. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boom! Rolling on through on a Thursday. We've been talking Spurs this morning. I got to go down to Beeville, Texas today.
That's God's country down there.
Is
man.
it, though?
It is. That is God's country.
Ugh. Woof.
Good luck. Well, hey, man.
You know what?
There
There
are
are
worse
some,
places to be than Beeville, Texas.
there are some good ass tacos there.
Man.
I know San Antonio is the taco capital of the world, but some of those little small South Texas towns have some got some stuff that can bang.
And the more chickens in the parking lot, the better the tacos inside.
You're damn right, Bubba. Yeah, when I went there, I had to go there for my dad's
that's right.
the probate hearing.
Right.
And I had a dress shirt on, and I went in.
Overdressed?
No, I was. But I had a backup shirt, luckily. But I went in and I went and had carne asada for breakfast, and of course I got some on my dress shirt because that's
That's just
what we do.
That's
Yeah.
what you do, man. And then I had to go to court, and I was like, damn it. So I threw on that other shirt, and I was like, I hope I'm not under, or like told my lawyer, I hope I'm dressed all right. He's like, dude, you got buttons on your shirt. You're good, Bubba.
I can't see your toes. That's good.
Oh, okay. So I asked you before the break, what do you think the value of Wemby is in the game tonight? Like, how much does he change your thoughts on whether the Spurs can win this game? If I told you, what do you think the line was yesterday before it was announced Wemby was out, and what do you think it is now?
It was probably close to a pick 'em. 1.5, 1 to 2. Phoenix.
Okay.
Now it's Phoenix in 4, 5.
Okay. What if I told you that yesterday the Spurs were 3-point favorites?
Wow. Okay.
Today the Suns are 2-point favorites.
5-point swing. Yeah.
5-point swing to the line.
That's-
Now going
that's-
through zero is not like a big number either way, but so it's probably more like in real life, it's probably a 3-point swing, but it's still.
What do you think will happen by game time?
I think it'll close probably. It won't close over 3.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like
don't
it'll
think so.
stretch Phoenix way.
Okay.
You know, I and that's me not knowing what our record is without Wemby, what our record is against teams that rebound the way. I mean, there's some variables in there, but I just assume that if Durant is playing, Book is playing, that the number is going to grow the closer you get. It just feels like.
So your projected lineup tonight: Sohan,
and the other 4. The only question is Chris Paul going to come off the bench, or is Castle going to start? I think the other 4 will be, we'll have Barnes out there, and Devin and
De'Aaron
and Keldon will come off the bench, and we'll just figure out whether it's going to be Steph or Chris Paul starting. And I think that should be.
And do we get Mamu minutes or Bassie minutes or what?
You tell me. Mamu, I don't know. Whatever he does.
The fact that Jeremy Sohan is the backup center is already weird enough.
Yeah.
Like, it just tells you, I mean, Wemby's not even really a center.
No. And so it makes it easier for Sohan to do it. But Sohan is zero threat on offense, like none.
Yeah.
Anything you get from him is gravy. And that makes it even more important to bring in an offensive dude like Castle to play a whole lot more, because we're playing 4-on-5 offensively. I mean, we are whenever we have Sohan out there. He's a layup and a putback dude, and that's fine. But no plays ever run for him, so you limit your offense, and you're not going to need 3. So suddenly their defense compacts into the paint. It just you got to do some different things, and one of them includes guys like Steph Castle, who might not be the prettiest at offense, but at least they got more than Chris Paul, who looks like his knees are stiffening up after every time he comes off the bench. He gets stiffer and stiffer. I mean, he's an old dude, so. Yeah, this is going to answer some questions. How are we going to offensively combat this if, in fact, Steph and Chris Paul are interchangeable?
Yeah, and I don't think they're interchangeable. I think one thing you know for sure is if Steph's out there, you're probably going to turn the ball over a little bit more.
Yep.
You are probably on the bright side, you are probably a better defensive team.
Without doubt.
So
that goes absolutely without saying.
But yeah, you're a better rebounding team. But it's just what do you?
But
is it worth the downside? And it is when you need someone when you're without Wemby, it feels even more important to create real offense. And I trust Chris Paul a lot more to create real offense than I do Steph Castle.
On nights like this, I will justify Chris Paul starting over Steph Castle every night if Wemby's playing, because part of the end of this season is not only for the team to improve, but for Wemby to continue to grow as a basketball player, to be put in situations that force him to do some stuff, to work on his good stuff. And to do that, you have to have a point guard that recognizes how things are done. Yeah. You can't just have a rookie out there trying to go do stuff. Chris Paul, go out there and run this damn play. Run the play, whether we need it or not, because Wemby's got to do this, or he's got to learn to make the weak side pass because we know what their defense is doing. So let's get him the ball so he knows to look behind to the right instead of to the left. Those little things that don't register in the game, you don't really notice it because it just turns into a turnover, but it was done with a purpose. Those kind of things can only be run with a point guard who understands the assignment. And Steph Castle, as good as he is, ain't that. And I don't expect him. I don't want him to be that yet.
It also, maybe it's because of his size, but sometimes I think, why can't, if they needed to, if they wanted to have them all out there, why can't they put Castle in the Vassell role?
I think they have. We've seen that. I think that, there's fluidity here. It's not, we don't have a point guard, a two guard, a small forward, a big forward, and a center out there.
And the reason I say that is you have one guy on this team who's really married to a position, and that's Chris Paul.
That's it.
He has no positional flexibility. He plays point guard. He can't be the off guard. He's got one job
and does it well. When
everyone else is kind of.
I expect
moldable.
To see that tonight. I do expect to see Steph and Keldon and Devin all out at the court at the same time. I mean, we're going to need some offense.
You could have Steph
and Chris Paul,
yes, and De'Aaron on the floor at the same time.
Ball. And I'm including De'Aaron. He's a constant. I'm always including De'Aaron. But the other guys, I expect to see a small ball lineup where there's nobody taller than about 6'5" out there, because we're going to have to run past them.
And I think next year when Chris Paul is gone, it like De'Aaron maybe. I think that's maybe why they're hesitant to give Castle Paul's minutes, because
De'Aaron needs to learn these.
That might not be Steph's job next year.
Right.
Because if you said
be.
One of you guys is going to be our point guard next year, it's probably De'Aaron Fox. So, and De'Aaron Fox can play off guard, which he is going to do for the rest of this year. But why throw a bunch of these point guard minutes on Castle when that's not your long-term plan?
You hit it on the head. And one other step there is you need Chris Paul out there to show De'Aaron exactly what it needs to be done. I bet since De'Aaron's arrived, he's been here a month now, 3 weeks, whatever it might be. I bet they've had maybe 3 full-on sweat 2-hour practices in a month.
Yeah.
So he's learning on the job. He's learning on the plane. He's learning through the walkthrough. And he's also learning on the court when Chris Paul is saying, go down, cut right, back, telling him exactly what to do on this play. So there's another reason why Chris Paul needs to be out on the court.
Yeah. And I get, so there's reasons why. And if you say, well, what's your future? I get, obviously Chris Paul's not your future, but Chris Paul wasn't brought in to help this team win this year necessarily.
No, he's here to teach.
This was a move for the future. Like, if Chris Paul didn't come here thinking he was ring chasing, that wasn't going to happen. That the Spurs were in a million years, the Spurs weren't going to win a title in 2025.
Now, would you be opposed to, if he decided, I'm going to hang around here for a couple years? I mean, he'd have to take the league minimum. I mean, it would cost $25 million.
No. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but it doesn't make sense really for their timeline.
You brought up something where you go, he's not here to win a ring. But if after about he sees De'Aaron arrive, he sees Steph Castle turn into Rookie of the Year, he watches Wemby grow on a regular basis. They got 2 number ones coming. I might hang around with y'all for a while.
If Chris Paul said, what would you say if Chris Paul said, I'm retiring at the end of this year, I'd like to be on a coaching staff? Like,
here's your whistle, man.
Yeah, dude. Like,
welcome aboard, brother. Absolutely.
Like, in that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much more fuel's in the tank for Chris Paul as a player, but the reasons why I liked them bringing him in are he can pass on this knowledge, and you can do that without being on the court all the time.
Strikes me as a coach.
For sure.
If he's so financially stable, he won't need to unless he truly wants to. But he's one of those superstars who I do believe, because he's such a nitpicker, I think he'd be a really good coach.
Oh, and he'd be great organizationally because I think much like Pop, he's a guy who demands a lot of like
nitpicker.
I say all the time, the reason why he and James Harden didn't work out in Houston is because they were polar opposites. And James hated that Chris expected everyone in the room to work as hard as he did. And man, I love the idea of a coach who expects you to work your ass off all the time.
And the reason I bring that up is I do think he came here to work under Pop. I think you
so
come
too.
here just to kind of get a little mentorship and some OJT on what it looks like to run an organization run by the very best who have ever done it.
I think so too. And in a day and age where, even in you see a lot in college hoops right now, head coaches who are former players, Jerry Stackhouse, Penny Hardaway, these are guys, and notice they're mostly, well, in Hardaway's case for sure, a guy who ran the point, like guys who understand that job. And I think Paul would be a great coach. Well, I just don't know that the Spurs need him on the floor after this year.
It's funny you bring this up because I was having this very discussion with a couple of guys. It's been about a month or so ago. Chris Paul, along with like Jason Kidd and Stackhouse, and we can name all these former players that have come up. You can always tell those guys that want to do it because every NBA player at some point funds an AAU team. It's cool to have your name on you're the Devin Vassell Select or whatever it might be. But they put their name on it. That's one thing. But when they're down there coaching them, when they're flying around and coaching those kids, you can tell that Stackhouse was an AAU coach long before he even dreamed of Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? And he worked, and Penny was the same thing. You can see it coming. And Chris Paul has always had an organization. He's always been coaching kids. He hosts camps every year. It's in his blood. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him hang around longer.
Now, on the same note, the guy that they brought in around that same time was Harrison Barnes. I want Harrison Barnes back on this team next year. Harrison Barnes is good for this team. He provides the things that I bitch about the Spurs not having enough of. He plays hard defense, and he is at least a competent shooter.
He's
and,
all those,
and the Spurs have hardly any competent shooters.
Does he want to be here? Because he's a championship caliber player. He's the kind of guy that championship teams want, And I see him saying, "Yeah, I'd love to stay here and win it, but I can get more money in the short term and play for a team that's going to play."
I think they have his rights for next year.
I would I want him to retire a Spur. Did you see what he and his wife did here in San Antonio? Donated millions. I mean, he's already yes,
Good.
He's
Keep him
already
around.
exactly what he was supposed to be when we got him. Retire a Spur, Harrison. We want you to stay.
And the other thing about him is when Chris Paul leaves, I still want an adult in the room.
Yes.
I still want like veteran leaders on this team. And really, there aren't any besides Chris and Barnes. Like there's like everybody else is still kind of figuring out who they are in the NBA.
No doubt.
Harrison Barnes knows exactly who he is, and he knows he's not the kind of guy who's going to bitch about giving up playing time to a young kid. He's a great fit for this organization.
Those culture guys are hard to come by.
They are,
especially those that are hard that can actually also still play.
Yeah, and that's why it's tough to say Chris Paul, and not that Chris Paul can't play. Chris Paul just doesn't play at a.
His value is neck up.
Yes.
Harrison Barnes is neck down and neck up.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes still provides all.
Yeah.
So, so I'm not saying like it's time to wash out all the old dogs. I just think that Chris Paul, and also you've got the parts to replace Chris Paul. Like there's nobody on this team that could replace Harrison Barnes.
Just because the age and experience.
Julian, like is that you're gonna like. Keldon.
Well, I mean, physically, they could probably go find a guy to mimic what Harrison Barnes does. But what Harrison Barnes is here to do is only about 70% on the court. The other 30% is be the guy to be what everybody emulates.
All right, let's hit a break. Rob, go and tell the people about Arasti.
Hey, you know what? I was telling Vic this morning that one of the great things about being an Arasti patient is they taught me how to fix myself. I Monday or Tuesday morning, I'm walking out of my house and I slipped. I've had lower back issues most of my adult life, some of it due to basketball and other stuff, but others just because I've got lower back issues. It's a muscle thing. And the first time I went in, I said, oh, your lower back hurts, but the problem is in your hips and your hamstrings. We're going to work on that. And we're going to fix the pain. And they did. Once they did that, she told me, okay, so the next time this happens, this is what you do. It involves some rubber bands, a lacrosse ball, and some gymnastics. But seriously, they showed me how to fix it. And I'll be darned if I didn't take that home with me and learn and fix myself over the last 2 days. Now, I'm still an Arasti patient. I'm still going back. I have my appointment scheduled. But this is more of a maintenance thing than a fix me thing. That's why I love going to Arasti, because of what they do and how they do it. They accept my insurance, and I never need a referral to go see them. I just made the call. That's what I want for you. So if you're living with something that's painful, whether it's constant or new, Arasti can go do wonders in getting it fixed, because this is not about long-term treatment. It's not about pills to hide or dull the pain or some kind of surgical procedure to prolong the issue. This is your body fixing itself. And let me tell you, I am living proof it works. So call Arasti today knowing they're going to get you fixed. You're going to get a full evaluation, and they get you taken care of fast, and they're going to fix you fast under 4 visits. The number is 1-800-404-6050. I'll say it again, 1-800-404-6050. Need more details or a map of the providers? Go to Arasti.com. Listen, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arasti today. They're going to take care of you. And when they do, come on by and thank me later.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it to keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Right now at North Park Chevrolet, own a new 2024 Silverado Crew Cab posted at $33,999 or lease for $0 down and $370 a month. Get 1.9% financing on all new 2024 Colorado trucks. A new 2025 Equinox LT is posted at only $25,999 plus 2.9% financing. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. I feel comfortable Wemby's going to get a couple of blocks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
San Antonio, get ready. Cody Canada and The Departed are bringing their high-energy red dirt, alt country, and rock and roll to Sable Hall at the Pearl on Saturday, February 22nd. Doors open at 7 p.m. Grab your tickets now at sablehall.com before they're gone. Cody Canada and The Departed live at Sable Hall February 22nd.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com, BABBEL.com.
Join the Blitz today for a live broadcast from Round Table Pizza, Park North. Have a slice, talk sports, and enjoy delicious pizza and cold drinks. Plus, score some deals during happy hour starting at 3. See you at Round Table Pizza in Park North.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Happy Valentine's Day.
The Happy Friday. I did an informal poll at the gym today, and nobody likes Valentine's Day. Me and my buddy Ray. The other thing you would like, Ray, because he's a big Dak defender. So we argue about that all the time.
I love you, Dak. What'd you get Dak for Valentine's Day?
I'd like to give him a new uniform. How about that?
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Vic,
Yeah.
I know the secrets that you keep.
Speaking of lisp,
what?
The secrets that you keep.
The secrets?
I know the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, his name's not Sam, it's T-H-A-M. Sam.
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 How do you spell that?
T-H-A-M.
Sam.
Yeah.
I hear the secrets that you keep.
The secrets.
Yes. What a day. What a day. What a day.
Poor Chris Paul.
Chris. Did you say Chris? No, Chris.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Chris.
Don't make fun of my impediment.
I have an impediment.
The only game last night in the NBA saw the Hornets knock off the Lakers. LaMelo Ball with some late game heroics.
Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming.
LeBron choked.
Limping around.
Yeah, he choked.
I don't know that I'll I mean, LeBron put up 26 in a game that they said he wasn't even going to play in. I think it boils down to, I mean, Luka was dreadful. 1 of 9 from 3, 5 of 18 from the field. He was awful last
looked
night.
like he had a jet lag.
6 turnovers.
Right?
6 turnovers, dude.
Are you here? You're running about 4 minutes slow.
You have a headache or something?
You know who's like maybe the biggest beneficiary of the Anthony Davis trade is Jackson Hayes, who looks like he's going to get some more run with him. And when I was watching that game last night, I was like, this guy's better than I thought he was.
Kid, right?
He went to Texas.
He can jump out of the gym. That guy really has athleticism.
I was like, man, he's better than I thought he was. And like, you forget he was a top 10 pick.
Yeah. I mean, it was all on possibilities because he just didn't get a chance to do much, but he physically is gifted. I'll give him that.
He's a real 7-footer.
Yeah.
And like, and last night I was like, this guy is got like with AD out of the way, this guy's going to get some run and he might be able to do something. He's a pretty solid player, even though they only play him like 20 minutes a night.
Well,
but,
he'll find his spot once Gafford's back and once but this is a good for them, at least for his development. But he ain't what the other dudes were. But yeah, he got bounce. Bounce.
So it looks like the Lakers are going to run with Reeves. I know. Yeah, Reeves, Luka. Reeves is untouchable, mind you. Jackson Hayes, LeBron, and Hachimura.
Did you see Reeves get thrown out of the game last night?
Yeah.
Nothing funnier than an angry dude who doesn't look like he knows how to be angry.
I don't think the officials knew that Austin Reeves is untouchable. Like you don't.
Hey, he's a star in this league.
Yeah, he's untouchable. And who I tell you is mentally broken is Dalton Connect. Like what happened to that dude is like he's just not good. I don't know if he's going to recover.
Well, you're right. The barely adequate psycho defenses were tested for a rookie, but I think LeBron handled it about as good as you can. I mean, look, Brooke, this is part of the game. Be happy that you were traded because somebody wanted you.
That's
you
true.
know what I mean? So just approach your game knowing full well you're probably not going to be a Laker next year. They've already had your exit strategy in mind.
Well, we got a full slate of NBA tonight, so we'll go over that during the daily lines. We also had some college hoops last night, Rob. We talked about those road teams and how it's hard to trust them anymore. And all three SEC home teams got wins, although Arkansas did cover at Auburn. Alabama got blown out at Mizzou. The final score was 110-98. It never felt that close. Missouri was up double digits at halftime and just ran away from them. And that 110-98 is the kind of game Alabama wants to play. Yeah, and they still got run out of the gym.
Is that some kind of record? Most points scored against a top 10 team in history.
Oh, is it?
I mean, 110 points. My God. So yeah, Missouri was stung by A&M, and you knew it was going to be a tough place to go into play. I didn't think the game would be played out like that. I didn't think Missouri would win the game Alabama's way. I thought they would win the game their way.
Yeah. That's 2 straight losses now for Bama. And I'm not going to say the wheels are coming off this thing, but you want a game where there's going to be a bunch of points scored on Saturday. Kentucky goes to Alabama, and neither one of those teams can play a lick of defense. And both of those teams are going to score and run. That is going to be I bet there's 200 points scored in that game.
I've said it all season. If Kentucky is shooting, they can beat anybody. If Kentucky, 2 of those dudes, and they've got maybe one of the best shooters in the country, if 2 of them are hitting, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, and they got Vanderbilt last night. 82-61 was the final there, and 11 of 27 from 3 for Kentucky. Vanderbilt 5 of 25.
Yeah, that's not good enough to beat good teams, but if they shoot,
I mean, you shoot 40% from 3, you're doing all right.
But for Kentucky to beat anybody, they got to shoot 50%, and they got to have 2 dudes hot. And I guess a lot of teams, if you're doing that, you're going to beat good teams. But Kentucky has the most potential to do it on a more regular basis than others.
They also got whatever they wanted inside last night against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt just didn't have answers. But yeah, the home teams stood their ground again, and I really think, especially in these power conferences, that's going to be the theme going forward.
The weird thing that looks like could happen is, let's not forget how good Alabama actually is. So they're going to go through a rough patch, and they might go from a 3 seed, 2 seed, fall to maybe a 5, 6 seed. And then you start getting those weird matchups where Alabama might end up with a very strange route to a Sweet 16 or Final Four, because they're that good, and their record might not show it after the bruising SEC second half.
You know who's going to be a weird team? And they kind of fall into that same vein of really good offense and meh defense. Gonzaga is such a strange case because I'm not. Are they even in the top 25?
No.
Okay, so they're not a top 25 team by the polls because they're 21-7 now. The analytics love Gonzaga still. They are 10th in KenPom overall.
Mm-hmm.
They blew the doors off Washington State last night. They've got a huge game this weekend against St. Mary's. And that's a team that, I mean, you talk about the best coach teams in the country.
And they're talented. They pull in 4 and 5 stars. So they're not under talented. They're just not very deep. And they don't have a lot of guard play this year.
That's something that is missing. But Ryan Nimhard's still, well, they don't have a lot of guard depth because Ryan Nimhard's still a baller. Nolan Hickman is solid, but they just don't have a bunch of guys they can trust.
It's just as shallow as they've been.
But they've now won 5 in a row. And like I said, they just dog stomped Washington State last night on the road, beat them by over 20. And that's a team to watch because I trust analytics a lot more than I trust polls.
I haven't seen them play. I saw them play back in October. I thought they were a top 25 team. So until I see conference tournament, and that's probably the next time I will see them play, I will reserve judgment. My expectation is they're better than their record. But that record does include some wins against some West Coast teams that I trust their depth and quality. So I really have no idea what to make of Gonzaga.
Well, they've lost 3 games already in conference, which I don't remember the last time they did that. But the thing that frustrated me early in the season was every time they played against a team that I thought was overrated, they would lose. They lost on a neutral to Kentucky. I say a neutral. It was like when they played in the big arena.
Yeah, that's the last
Spokane.
time I saw them play.
I saw them lose on, I think it was MSG. I think they lost to Connecticut, and I don't think Connecticut's very good. I saw them lose to UCLA on a neutral game, and I don't think UCLA is very good. So it's like all these, every time I'm like, maybe they're good. they go up against someone who I'm like, this is gonna be a good win for them, and then they end up losing those games. So they're hard to trust, but the numbers say that this team is better than what they've played.
Looking at the top 25, they got 14 votes to get in there. New Mexico with 117. St. Mary's, their conference rival, 63 votes to get in the top 25. UCLA second with 56.
New Mexico lost on the road last night in Boise. The Lobos I think they'd had like 13 wins in a row or something, or maybe it was like 17 out of 18 or something like that. That was their first loss in a long while last night. And maybe some of those New Mexico's always been an elite home basketball team.
You don't want to play that.
That is one of the best home courts in the country, which means usually if you have a great home court, it means you're meh on the road. And New Mexico's been pretty good on the road this year. Even last night, I mean, Boise's good. It's not a bad loss at Boise. It's not like New Mexico's going to the tournament. They're a solid team. But yeah, that maybe there's some. There's a lot of teams that are in that range of, and we talked about it the other day with Villanova. Like they're going to make the tournament. I don't know what they're going to do in the tournament. Like New Mexico is going. I wouldn't want to play New Mexico in round one.
I don't want to play New Mexico. I'd rather play Villanova. Oh, I know what I'm getting to Villanova.
Way rather play Villanova than New Mexico. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, let's get into we've talked basketball all day, Rob. I need to talk some football. We'll do that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you guys about Cerebral. And if you're the kind of person who is, taking a look around social media, you watch the news, you realize, man, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world today. And sometimes it's real frustrating. You're like, what's happening in the world? But also when you're on that social media, you're seeing, oh, well, look at Vic. Vic got a brand new air fryer, and I can't afford an air fryer. And you say, man, what's going on in my life? I can't even buy a new air fryer. Well, Rob's got an iron, by the way, a brand new iron being delivered today. I don't have a new iron, but if it's really hard to feel good when you're focusing on what everybody else is doing. But if you take the time to focus on what you're doing, just for a little bit, 45 minutes, just focus on you, it can get a lot done. And Cerebral makes it easier than ever to get that help. They let you access dedicated therapists, doctor prescribed medication, all personalized to you. And the best part, they do it's in-network care. So you're doing all of this without worrying about the cost of it. If you're managing stress, you've got anxiety, you're going through a life transition, you want better sleep, whatever it is, sometimes the mental health is a real thing, man. And getting help for it is huge. It's a big step, and you won't regret it. I certainly didn't. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. And working with your insurance plans, they help to cover the cost of care so people can get the support they need. They're a proud sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes need to perform at their best physically, their mental game needs to be on as well. Cerebral help building you strong foundation for your overall well-being. Take that first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for mind time.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still dealing with this accident on Loop 410 eastbound at Nacogdoches. We've got 3 right lanes blocked. This is about a 15-minute delay. It has you stop and go from airport. Still dealing with the closure on I-10 on the frontage road, eastbound Medical to Callahan. That's closed earlier. Vehicle fire. It's been tapped out. The main lanes of the freeway are open. A stall at I-10 eastbound 37 now off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Eat Lux your way with the new $5 Classic, $7 Supreme, and $9 Discovery Lux Craving Boxes from Taco Bell at participating stores for a limited time only. While supplies last, price of participation varies. Drinks exclude freezes, tax extra.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
The hard water coming in and out of your home is like a rodeo. There's a lot happening, and a lot can go wrong. Like having a tea party during a bull riding event.
Excuse me, would you please pass the sugar?
Now that's hard. At the same time, those that know have a Kinetico quality water softener and enjoy smooth, soft, pure, clean water. It just makes everything better.
That's a nice bull. You want some cake?
If you don't have a Kinetico water softener in your home, you're basically inviting destructive hard water to beat up your appliances, your hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And your coffee maker, hard water damages it too.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
Don't live in a hard water rodeo.
Ooh, he looks mad.
Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
License number 38961.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way. And that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions. And that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit.
The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. Don't miss the 2025 State Farm College Slam Dunk and 3-Point Championships. Witness the nation's top dunkers and sharpshooters battle it out live in person. One epic night of unbelievable skill and electrifying energy. Thursday, April 3rd at the Frost Bank Center. Tickets are going fast. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. See you April 3rd for the State Farm College Slam Dunk and 3-Point Championships. The most exciting weekend in college basketball starts here. One night, pure action. Don't miss it.
Confidence starts with feeling great in your own skin. When you look good, you feel good. Get stronger to your core with Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa. From muscle toning to micro needling, call 210-494-8446 or findyourbeautiful.com.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I heard Jason Minix during the break reading a commercial for a plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
Find your beautiful. Jason's like, get your micro needling done.
I'm familiar with that.
Jason, really?
Huh?
You? If you were asking me, like,
you should have seen what he looked like before.
Yeah, man.
This is the good part.
Yeah.
If Jason shows up with like Botox and stuff, we're gonna know exactly what's going on.
He's had it. This is what he looks like with it.
Good God. Well,
I couldn't go through
You
that.
should have seen the before.
No.
No shots to the face, sorry.
No, well.
Or anywhere. But
you know.
Well, yeah.
You know.
It is what it is.
If the price is right.
I'm vain enough.
Yeah, it's funny. I've got things that, like, I'm like, oh, I need to knock my beard down because my gray is showing too much. But I am not going through a procedure to look better. Me,
I'm vain enough. If it wasn't going to put me out, like if I wasn't going to have to wear a bandage, like, you know what? If we'll just touch that up right there,
like a nose job type.
Not
where you have to
that.
have that big old.
You get old and you got like blotches on your skin, that kind of stuff. I'm down. I do that. I don't get buffed and scrubbed.
My old if you were bald, would you get a hair transplant?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either.
Everybody says that's easy for you to say.
Well, I mean, I got it offered to me, and I said no thanks.
But no, I mean, I'm vain for sure, but I don't think I'd go that far.
No, it's too much. It's too much. But
I'd just shave it all off and buff it like a bowling ball.
That's the move.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
That's the move, man.
Dip my head in honey and rub it all over my wife.
I'll be there before you.
Own the look. I've been there, Bubba. I've been there. Been there, done that. When you started going gray, did you like?
I've been going gray since I was like 30.
Okay.
I mean, I've had gray in my hair forever. So it's been so you don't notice the change until you look at a picture from a year ago and you go, oh my God.
Were you self-conscious about it at first?
No, I never was. That gray has never bothered me a bit. I've never colored anything. I don't care. I felt like it was a kind of a badge of honor.
I thought about coloring my beard, but I'm so scared I'll look like Ryan Day.
Man, I've had many a friend who has showed up and you go, what the hell happened to you?
I know. And there's no slow way to do it.
No.
It's like,
I won't name names, but people very close to me have showed up and they're wearing a baseball cap. You're like, what's going on underneath there?
Oh,
yeah.
What are you hiding?
Did you fall into a vat of ink?
I'm yeah.
Dude, you look like Robert Goulet.
That's
man.
the problem. I'm so scared I'll just look crazy if I did it. So I just say, well, you know what?
Jet black hair.
I give up.
Embrace the gray.
I give up.
I'd be the guy with the fake dye and it'd be like dripping down my forehead like a black line of dye coming down my forehead.
Sweat.
Exactly. That's what you're like.
Nope.
I don't need that.
No.
I don't need that.
I'm just old.
You look like Pee Wee Herman. Like
slick back.
Yeah.
Black
oh,
hair.
Man. Did you see they announced that the Chargers are going to host the game in week 1 in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
How's the field
every player on the Chargers, they haven't named the other team, but they think that we have zeroed in on the other one, right? I think we know who the other one might be. Just by the numbers and the teams that are due. But every Charger player was like, oh crap. This sucks. But
everybody's worried about
they can't leave
conditions.
the compound. There's the crime and all that. So they get there, they land, they go to their hotel, they practice, they play. And I'm not even sure they take their pads off before they're on a jet out of there, So this is not good news to any player. This sucks.
The Chargers' regular season opponents that play them on the road are Denver, Kansas City, Vegas, obviously. Jacksonville.
That would be because Jacksonville gets London.
Won't get it.
So it won't be them.
Tennessee, who just played a game pretty recently overseas, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken. The Giants, the Dolphins also played overseas last year.
But the Dolphins would be a good candidate for South America if I was,
And the Dallas Cowboys.
I think Jerry is holding out for Australia next year. But
I think
it's
so
in the
too.
NFL's best interest to send Jerry to Brazil.
I think so too. Would you go?
No. I would love to go to Sao Paulo. I would. I would love to go and experience it, but I don't trust the economy. I don't trust the crime rate. I'm not going down there.
Okay.
I would love to go, but I just get the sense I wouldn't enjoy it because I wouldn't be able to see what I want to see.
Yeah.
You had bodyguards.
Well, I have friends that go during not Mardi Gras. What do they call it?
Carnival.
And they do.
Oh, okay.
You hire guards.
Okay.
You just hire a crew. They drive you. They pick you up at wherever you're staying, and they stay with you the entire time.
And then at the end of the trip, they kidnap you.
Yeah. Then you end up paying them.
You pay them twice.
Well, at least the kidnappers.
Yeah.
Right. They're nice to you.
They
only cut off the very tip of your finger. They
we
don't
were
take
friends. We were friends last week.
Now
you owe me money.
I'm off the clock now.
and I'm asking you how much you got.
Yeah, but I wanted to go. I had an opportunity to go train jiu-jitsu in Brazil.
Nice.
And my coach, who was Brazilian, was my coach, is Brazilian, obviously.
Okay.
He said, "Wejay, you don't go Brazil without me." He's like,
Yeah,
it's no
really?
no place for you. This crime is bad.
Which Call of Duty were we going through the favelas? After I did the Call of Duty,
it was a Modern Warfare.
Was it Modern Warfare?
Yeah, one of those.
After Modern Warfare and the favelas, I knew I was never going.
Yeah,
I've had to fight my way out too many times.
I would imagine though, there's tourist parts, like,
I'll never go back to the NAM.
There's tourist parts that you would never see that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And my guess is when the NFL comes to town, they're going to set everything up where you don't see that poor people live here.
Oh no, I agree with that. I mean, the viewing public will get the prettiest picture possible. It'll be happy people doing happy things in a tropical environment. But if I was to go and as a fan and as a tourist, I just don't want to go someplace where I'm continually worried about my safety.
That is problematic.
I mean,
that's how we feel when we come to work every morning.
Well, there is that
parking lot.
It's true.
We don't know what's going to happen.
I try to get here after you in case they're laying in wait.
Oh yeah.
So you
so something
you get
happens
got,
to
and
me.
I'm the one that calls.
Yeah.
Like I got here and this car door was open in one shoe. I don't know.
Yeah, and me peace of mind knowing that you should show up any minute now, unless he fell again on the porch, and then I'm screwed.
Unless he's frozen up. I'd like to help Vic, but my back's hurt.
Yeah, he can't get out of the car.
I recommend you kick him.
AJ will be here in 10 minutes.
What if I offered you, Vic, a 20% raise on your salary, but in exchange, you had to walk from Austin Highway Eisenhower intersection to here every morning?
That's a video game right there.
Yeah, it is.
Like you'd have to park your car there
GTA.
and walk that every morning.
30%.
Well, the offer's 20.
No.
Okay.
He's gonna have to buy some body armor.
Am I allowed to carry?
It's essentially hazard pay. It's hazard pay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 30%.
You're allowed to carry a knife. No guns. So
Más un cuchillo? Well,
if there's a hobo attack, you've got a blade, but no gun. Gun would make it too easy.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'd have to. I need the money.
Sure, whatever you got.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
how big is the knife?
Today you'd be frozen on the side of the road.
Yeah,
you
today's
wouldn't have
different.
made it today. But
Can I bring a machete? Is a
today
machete
you just tell
good?
the hobos, just take me, hobo. Like,
yeah, here's my.
Sure,
wallet.
I'll do it. I need the money.
Yeah.
Sure.
What? See how long I
How
last.
much you got? I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
Well, I mean, 20% of $10K a year isn't. It's not
much. That's what I'm saying.
I'll do it right
now. I need 30.
You got it on you? I'll do it right now.
I'll do it for cash up front.
Yeah. You PayPal me $20 and I'm in.
Right now.
I'm in. It's too damn cold to do it today.
There's a dude on a bike this morning. And I'm like, I don't know how you're doing it.
Yeah, I was like, I would just walk. I swear to God, I walk downstairs. I almost always park in there's 3-4 like key parking spots in front of my building. I like those because I can see my car if I need to.
Oh,
like
yeah,
an alarm goes off or whatever. I can look out the window, make sure it's not my car. And they're also the closest. I don't have to walk across the parking lot. When it rains here, my parking lot, there's like a river runs through it.
It really is.
Because it's in the low point of the
It's a
apartment.
choke point, low point.
And there's
collect
like
all the flood water.
there's a big drain at the end of the parking lot, so all the water rushes to this drain.
It's like a salmon upstream when you're leaving.
Really?
It's crazy, yeah.
But last night I went out and had some dinner and drinks, and I got home a little later than I normally do. You almost always get these elite parking spots because my hours are off from everybody else's.
Yeah, you're home.
Your neighbor's like, doesn't he work?
Yeah, they're like, oh, this guy doesn't work.
They always got the great spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last night I had to park across the parking lot.
Oh, that sucks.
And I swear, when I started walking down the stairs and I noticed my car wasn't in the elite spot, I said,
For 5 seconds, you were going.
no, I wasn't worried, but I was thinking, oh my gosh, my car is so far away. It's so cold. Like, I can't believe I didn't get one of the good spots last night. Like,
my car doesn't have the remote start. And
Right.
I don't really care for it because
yeah.
I had a
That'd be nice,
friend one
though.
time who kept turning his car on because he messed with his keys.
Oh boy.
You know, and I didn't. That's what would happen to me. So
Well, that
I've never actively chased it because how many days do we really need to warm our car up in the morning?
No.
None.
The last couple
4.
of days, I'm wishing I had invested just a little bit more on the remote start.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt. Certainly, but I am glad that I've got the heated seats. I wish
See,
that
I don't even have that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wish my
my son has that in his car.
Ooh,
I don't have that.
you know what I'd never thought I needed, but now I think I do is the heated steering wheel. Because yeah, that's a thing now.
That's too bougie.
Well,
Not for me, Bubba.
You got to buy a car
me.
that's manufactured in cold weather climates, and it's just standard.
My car still uses a key. Everyone else has a fob.
Oh, you're one of the last ones.
You have a key?
Yeah. See?
Dang.
Yep. And I got to go out front and crank it, and you know it's a 3 on the tree. You know,
2-stroke. I got a pull cord.
Mine has the thing where it technically has a key. Like if for whatever reason.
Oh yeah.
Like
but mine, that's the only way.
I can top that. My grandfather had a tractor that you started with a shotgun shell.
Oh yeah,
I kid you not.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You would put the shotgun shell in the front part, and you'd squeeze that thing closed. You'd screw it closed. Then you'd go set your choke, turn everything. Then you'd fire the shotgun shell, and it would turn the case over. I kid you not.
Yeah, and it just started right up. Right?
Yeah, but you used a shotgun shell.
Price of ammo is too high for
I
that.
tell you, who invented it? Who came up with that idea?
I bought shotgun shells when they were $4 or $5 a box. Now
Yeah,
they're what, 12, 15?
Yeah, I think they're like 20 for a box of 12 gauge shells.
12 gauge. Well, right now
I
they're
haven't
getting a
been
little bit
skeet shooting
cheaper
in a
because bird season's done. But you go buy shotgun, you buy 20 gauge in September, dude.
Good
Oh
lord.
yeah.
It's like cigarettes. Ammo is one of those things that used to be real cheap. Like I mean, we had countless amounts of ammo when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
And now it's like if I mean, obviously ammo it doesn't. I guess expires.
we would buy the case
old.
of shit. We would buy the shotgun shells by the case back then. It
Yeah.
was like
$4.74 on the way out to the
a box.
lease, and it didn't matter.
It's like eggs now. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't.
I know the 18 pack of eggs was like $16.
yeah. If you have bullets now, you're like you're an elite.
Yeah, and I got bullets and eggs.
Oh
Yeah. Come talk to me. I'm taking orders.
and toilet paper.
I got a closet full of toilet paper.
You still have it.
I
from
got
COVID,
21
huh?
chickens and cases of shotgun shells.
Cigarettes.
I'm like a king.
I got a carton of cigarettes. I don't even smoke, but I got them.
You're like a millionaire in prison.
You know what would have been
Carton of cigs.
you know what I thought about? I was thinking about this the other day because I was in the post office. It was yesterday, in fact. I was in the post office. And like
I was in the post office yesterday.
well, we talked about
Yeah.
we had to go to the post office. I went to one in Encino Park.
That's the one I was going to tell you to go to.
Yeah,
I couldn't give you good directions. That's
yeah,
over on
it's
Hebner.
just past the Rue Pub.
Yeah.
You hang a right. Yeah. But I was thinking about those forever stamps. And they were like now a stamp is like 74 cents or something.
Yes, they are.
That's unreal.
And I
That is unreal.
I think they were 29 when you could buy them as the forever stamps.
And
So as a book is what 15,
I can't
20
even
bucks?
imagine.
Yeah,
Something like man, they used to be $7 a book.
I know. But the idea of the forever stamp and like you've got these forever. Imagine if you could have bought like cigarettes or something like that at one price and had like an infinite supply of them and then sell them now.
Sell them off the back of the truck.
Like
Yeah.
I could be in the parking lot with forever stamps that I bought for 29 cents each, sell them for 40 cents each, 50 cents each,
Right.
double my money and still be undercutting the post office by 20 cents. I could have my own business.
I wonder if there's somebody out there selling forever stamps.
I mean,
What if I can go? Is there something
There's somebody out
maybe
there
on the
selling
dark web?
that's what I would. I mean, in
Yeah.
hindsight,
What are you in for?
There's resellers everywhere, man.
what an like. If I told you could have bought this stock,
Yeah.
20 years ago, that would now be at 130%,
Right.
I'd be a genius. But
follow the Bitcoin model.
The problem is
I messed up. I should have invested in stamps
Did you
instead
buy
of Bitcoin.
stamps yesterday?
No, I just paid whatever. I said I want to
Right.
send this particular package. Just put
Oh
the
yeah, just
sticker on it,
just
how much it's
pay
going to
for it.
cost.
Yeah.
So
I always feel like I'm gonna guess wrong on how
when
many
was
stamps I
the
need.
last time you bought a stamp?
I have a few stamps because I was dealing with sending off legal paperwork for my dad. But other than that,
I can't even. I have no idea when the last stamp I purchased was.
I have still like probably 4 or 5 stamps from the last time. I don't know if they're still good.
I think they're somewhere in the box with my home phone by my checkbook.
The rotary phone?
My rotary phone and my checkbook. I think that's where my stamps are.
I still have a checkbook. I don't use it, but I have it.
I
Just
wish
in
I did.
case.
Fake money.
All right, we'll be back. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
San Antonio, get ready. Cody Canada and The Departed are bringing their high-energy red dirt, alt country, and rock and roll to Sable Hall at the Pearl on Saturday, February 22nd. Doors open at 7 p.m. Grab your tickets now at sablehall.com before they're gone. Cody Canada and The Departed live at Sable Hall, February 22nd.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job, pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Your commute definitely filling in, slowing down on 35 southbound Schertz Parkway on down to Thousand Oaks, about a 25-minute commute. It's about 15 minutes on 90 eastbound 211 on over to Loop 410. We do have a stall at 90 westbound at General Hudnell that's blocking the median, and another stall at I-10 eastbound 37 now off to the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs are finally coming home. Well, kinda. They're playing in Austin tonight and will face Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns at 8:30 at the Moody Center. The NFL has informed its teams that the 2025 salary cap will be roughly $277.5 million, or up to $281.5 million, which is an increase of nearly $26 million over last year. That sound you hear is players applauding. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob on a Thursday. I got to take a peek at the Brigade Bar. I regret it instantly.
You lay with pigs. You come covered in.
Yeah, Mean Green. Anyone on this show, outside Cowboys and Spurs, this radio station's absolutely clueless. I mean, it's Washington State, who's 16-12. This dude takes the easiest opinions. Gonzaga was like a 12-point favorite yesterday. They won by 20-something. Like, so that's called the Vegas line. I'm going to give you a quick lesson here.
There's so many problems with what he
The Vegas line is expectation. To put it in the most simple term, that is the expectation of what a team is going to do. So if you say, how have you done against the spread or against the line? You're saying, how have you done against the expectations of, not like of me. I'm talking of like anybody who collectively puts $1 on a sports match. Oh. So Gonzaga greatly exceeded expectations. And if you knew they were going to win by 20 last night,
they should have.
You could have put down $1,000 and won $4,000. You really should have done that if that's all it takes. Like you've got it figured out, Bubba.
And if you think Washington State is any good at all, you're not. You're just. I'm
not trying to say they are good. I'm not.
I'm not talking to you.
I'm saying the fact that Gonzaga beat them by 20-something is still impressive.
They should have. Gonzaga's got enough. Washington, that 16-12 record, that's fool's gold. The 16 wins are against Bo Diddley Tech and community colleges.
My point is, if you know so much, put some money on it, man. Don't complain about other people talking about it.
That's the thing I've learned from you is gambling is about the percentages. It is not about who you believe is going to win and lose. It's about the expectations and the fringes. You people get so lost in when you talk gambling and then you talk the game. Because that's two different things.
But like I said, the easiest way to put it is the line is expectation.
Yes, and it is exactly what the expectation is. But that's entirely different from the real world.
Shardy Public Pants say stamps sometimes double as toilet paper. Do you lick them first?
If you're using them that way, there's only one side that's appropriate. If one side,
that'd be something.
The wrong side,
that'd be something.
Hope they easily tear.
All your fur gets all.
You get the Brazilian. You're waxing yourself.
That's actually not a bad idea.
No.
And Elm reminds me also of when Fred dyed his hair jet black. That my old co-host. He came in and
I don't remember him having hair.
He did for a while, and then as he started to lose it, and then when I passed on that hair transplant, he took it.
Oh.
And he showed up one day with his hair was black as.
Did it look tattooed?
So was he trying to play it off like it was no big deal, like no one would notice?
He thought no one would notice. And I'm telling you, he looked like Imagine the darkest hair like that is possible.
He put on the blue black Elvis
form,
wig,
and then it's darker than that. Like he looked like John Travolta waxed. Like and
so what did you do?
So I told my producer, I said, don't say a word about it until the show starts. And then we started the show, and I was like,
so you're looking a little different today. Just lose some weight?
I said, what's going on with you? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know. Something seems different. And he was like, got a haircut. And I was like, a cut, huh?
Is that what we call it now?
I was like, did you get a little color at it? He's like, a little
something.
He's like, I said, a little. I said, Fred, you look like you got dunked in typewriter ink, like you were being tortured, and like someone, they started to tar you, and they started to dip you in with your head first, and then you talked, so they didn't dip the rest of you in the tar.
God, I felt pretty good. Looked pretty good.
He's like, maybe she did go a little darker than she should. Like there's no darker than what she went. It's like there's no color in this world darker than that, and it was like, it looked like that. Yes,
pretty much.
And he had it like, there was a drip spot where you could see like it. I mean, it was like, oh, dude, you look crazy. You got it. You can't go with this, because he was starting to gray, and that again. It's like the Ryan Day thing. If I just show up tomorrow with like a full dark brown beard, it's too obvious. It's too obvious.
You look like you got a Tinder date.
I know. I just can't do it.
You look like you're trying to match the photo that you'd
hi, I'm 24.
Run through a filter.
I just can't do it. So I've just given up, and if my beard gets too gray, I just knock it down and pretend like I don't have a beard for a while until it grows out and gets too gray again.
What it is.
You're right. Who am I trying to impress? You know,
I've got nobody.
Who am I going to impress?
I got it.
I don't know.
You got to impress your wife again.
Nah,
no, she doesn't care.
Right?
No, I'm long past impressing
the
her.
The moment your wife is pointing out moles on your ass.
Yeah.
I got that mole on your ass looking a little weird.
The hair is low priority.
It's over. You don't need to try
the
that.
Hair don't
much.
matter.
Yeah, not anymore.
Hey, did my my StreamYard's still good? What the hell's happened here?
What's going on?
Oh,
good.
Okay. I think I just.
Did it go to sleep?
No, yeah.
I think
I accidentally opened a new window. Okay. Because I was like, oh no, where's all my tabs? I'm one of these people. I don't know how you guys do with tabs, but I have like 60 things open at once.
No. I'm opposite.
I currently have
3 things, and that's it.
And you what if you need to go back to something?
Yeah, I need to go back. I need to cycle through. I got a tab open from September of 22.
No, I don't go back. I just move
just
forward.
in case.
Oh, that's wise of you.
Forward.
That's wise of you.
I never turn my computer off.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
You never turn it off?
Ever. Never.
He puts it.
I leave it on and 24 hours a day,
and leaves it in his backpack.
Put it in my backpack. Plug it into the car. You never know. You might need a jam.
Yeah.
That thing might catch on fire.
I know.
Man.
It's going to be like these cameras.
Yeah. Have you ever not turned your computer off for like 6 months, and then you have to take it to your help desk, and they're like, okay, let's go to work on it. Can you go ahead and reboot it? And you're like, and you go to reboot it, and you're like, well, this is going to be about an hour. Oops. Sorry.
It's gonna be a minute.
It's gonna be about an hour, so
I'll come back.
I'll come back in a little while.
Yeah, I know who people like back in the day. You used to be able to deny doing updates. Like you'd say, like, "Do you want to update?" And you'd just be like, "No." And now, like Apple, you can say no a couple times, but then eventually, like
you just wake up
when you're asleep. You wake up, it's like your phone's updated, and I'm like, "Damn it,
bastards!"
Because I never know what's going to change. I want things to just stay the same. I've reached the age in technology where it's like, oh, don't be different. Like, I remember when Facebook would update and be like, oh, I don't know how to use this anymore.
Now.
It makes me, and I haven't had Facebook in like 5 years, and it made me feel like an old person then when I was 40. I didn't know how to use Facebook.
Well, we've all aged gracefully over there.
Yeah.
We're all getting older.
On
the Facebooks, on the book face.
Does it still bother you anytime they do an update?
Yeah, but I think we've all gotten a little bit more savvy. I'm not quite as worried about it anymore. And when I had an iPhone, when the updates came, that was genuinely worrisome.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, what's going to happen now? And so I would fight it.
Now, what about your thing now? Do you get updates?
It's a little different. You get them in a different way. Okay. You get them so much more often. They just tweak little things.
I mean, I hear people who are like, they're hardcore, like Windows phones people. And I just can't.
No, I'm not.
I can't do it. But like your phone, your Android thing is like now the screen is coming off of it. You have the most oddly designed phone.
I do, and the technology really isn't quite there for the bendable screen. I'm not taking away. I'm going to go get it replaced. I love the phone, but I've got one. I do. For one, it's a conversation starter, and you and I travel a fair amount, so it's good. People are like, "Oh, crazy phone."
You like to talk to people.
I do, but it's a conversation starter.
I don't want to start conversations
so
with anyone.
It's a way for people, like if we're in a new place, people will see that and they'll go, "Oh, interesting," and it'll be a way to meet people. So I enjoy that, and I also like the gigantic screen at my eyes as they go.
I don't know why you don't just carry around an iPad.
Well, I did. I had the previous. No, keep in mind, before I went Apple, I was always Samsung, and I was like an early adopter with that first Samsung Note, that one that you had to have like a
giant one?
Yeah, like a side bag to carry around. I had that phone.
Didn't that the one that caught fire?
Oh, well, then no, that was the next one after that. The next generation I had, and the reason I went back to Apple was because my phone kept catching on fire and burning people's asses off. So it was between that.
I hate when that happens.
And an iPhone, so I chose to save my nalgas until they fixed their batteries, and then I went back.
Wise move.
And
wise.
You don't get
move.
gray hair like this making dumb decisions.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, I just want everything to be easy for me. And now I feel like if my iPhone breaks, I just go to the Apple store, and they just give me a new one or whatever.
Yeah. Well, sadly, and again, I'm not knocking the phone, nor am I endorsing it, unless you want to pay me, Samsung. But it's been a great phone. It's just this is a cost of doing business. I'm gonna have to go replace the screen.
What's it going to cost you?
I've got insurance, knowing that it's coming, so I think it's $50.
Okay, $50.
I think I got
$50.
$50.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and it's like 15 minutes. Obviously, they're having to do it a lot.
Yeah,
the guy was like, "Oh, no problem," and it took him a couple of minutes. But
okay,
it is a cost of doing business.
Do they have like an updated model of that?
Yeah,
phone?
I'm on. I think they've got a new version.
Okay,
I think they have. There's one new version that's come out since I got this one.
Is that one of the things that they've improved on it?
I hope, because it is kind of cool to think you can fold it, but I don't think so. I think that there's a limit to the number of times you can fold the plastic. It's kind of like those cars that have the, they turn off when you come to a stoplight.
Yeah.
I think there's a limit to the number of times.
Mine does it. Yeah, I hate it.
My wife has a Volkswagen. I turned it off.
I turned mine off too. Yeah.
But I think there's a limit to the number of times you use the starter. I just cannot believe that's good for the car. And I think there's like a number of times you bend this plastic. It's just it's built in obsolescence. It's going to crack.
No, I agree. Yeah. There's no way that can be like the long-term answer. All right. First of all, when we come back from this next break, we are going to give away tickets to go see Jerry Cantrell. That's going to be February 27th at the Aztec. Special guest Filter. It's the I Want Blood tour. So we'll give away tickets to that, and we're going to talk. I know everybody's been waiting. Everybody's excited. We're going to talk about USA versus Canada.
America.
I mean, America. It's the big. This is the. I read you know what? Well, it's a big game. I'll tell you about why, or I'll tell you how. It's not just me saying it's a big game. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle on 94.1. I got to tell you guys about John Hicks Law Firm. And when life changes fast, you need a lawyer who's been there and done it. And John Hicks, a veteran of the Marine Corps, veteran of the San Antonio Fire Department, he's been around. And he's one of us. He's just a regular dude, just like us. And John offers a unique experience that he offers his unique experience as a veteran to help you. And facing divorce, child custody battle, or a family dispute of any kind, the John Hicks Law Firm offers flat fee representation from beginning to end. Because obviously, when you're going through something like this, you're worried about where your money's going to go. You're worried about how you're going to come out financially at the end. John Hicks knows that, and he makes it easy. There's payment plan opportunities. And like I said, he said, I'll get you from point A to point B for this amount of dollars. And that's what happens. You don't hand this dude a check for $5,000 and then he calls you in 3 weeks and says, hey, I need some more money. And you say, well, how far did you get? I'm just working on it, Bubba. You never know what it's like with lawyers. John Hicks, he keeps it all up front for you. No surprises. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win. That's the Hicks Law Firm.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Golden.
Yes.
How are you this morning?
I am going to tell you how to save your marriage.
Okay.
You said something about motorcycles. Do you like motorcycles or cars?
Me, I like dirt bikes.
You treat her just like she's that dirt bike.
Just ride her hard and slam her into the turn. Take her through the bumps and hang on tight.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
San Antonio, get ready. Cody Canada and The Departed are bringing their high-energy red dirt, alt country, and rock and roll to Sable Hall at the Pearl on Saturday, February 22nd. Doors open at 7 p.m. Grab your tickets now at sablehall.com before they're gone. Cody Canada and The Departed live at Sable Hall, February 22nd.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson from my good friends over at Prize Picks. Hoops are here, baby. It's time to turn the page and start playing games we can win. And now you can win up to 1,000 times your money over on Prize Picks just for doing what you love, watching basketball and picking those that you like. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on sports action. There's over 10 million of us doing it. You should be there too. And right now, there's no better time to get in on the hoops action. If you think Steph Curry can get more than 5 3-pointers this week, now's the time. Is the freak going to get 35? I don't know. I do know this. I feel comfortable Wemby's going to get a couple of blocks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5, and you don't even need to win. You can receive a $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And have you ever played Taco Tuesday? That's right. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks offers promotions that can lead to big payouts. Here's how you play. Go download the app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and get $50 instantly after you play your first lineup. Prize Picks. Go run your game.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live at Round Table Pizza, the Park North location. Come out and see us and have some pizza. We're going to talk to the General, John McClain, about some Hall of Fame stuff and how are the Texans going to use their salary cap money.
Plus the Spurs with that home game tonight in Austin.
Yeah.
The Blitz starts at 2.
It does.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Rob was just talking about the time that he thought about running over an athlete with his car.
I had a chance. I could have done it.
Who was it?
It was back in the day when the Spurs still played in the Convention Center arena.
Okay.
And it was before we'd finished the Alamo Dome. And Bill Laimbeer was a new player with the Pistons. This is before they'd gotten great, but they were really good.
Right.
And we were playing them in a game, and I hated him. I hated Rick Mahorn. They had another dude on their team that I didn't like either.
Forgot about Mahorn.
They had 3 dudes on that team that were just goons. And they were getting ready for the game, and I was downtown early. And this was back when they would leave the I think they must have been staying in either the Hyatt or the Hilton, and they would have to walk across the street in the public to go to the arena. They didn't have a tunnel, and they didn't go on a bus because the hotel was across the street. And I was sitting at that light when the Pistons came across the street, and I thought, I could take Laimbeer out right now. I'm not going to kill him, but I could certainly take out a leg.
You would have changed history.
I could have changed, literally. I was thinking, this is my chance. I could have done it right then and sacrificed something for the team.
Were you driving like a 79 Cadillac or something?
If I felt like I had a car that I could have gotten away with, like I was driving like an 82 Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
I'd have taken his ass out and headed to the west side.
And dumped it right
all points bulletin for a 82 maroon Cutlass. There's 1,000 of them. I don't know.
Is it this one?
On the lookout for a 5'10" Hispanic male.
Good luck.
Dark hair.
Good luck.
In a Cutlass. Well, there's only 25,000. We'll start looking.
All right, let's do this giveaway. The Jerry Cantrell tickets, February 27th at the Aztec Theater with Filter, the I Want Blood North American tour. Let's do caller number 4. You'll win 2 tickets to that event. All right, big game tonight, Rob.
Huge, man. This is going to be so much fun.
This is, I got, there's a story on The Athletic that it said, is this the biggest hockey game? It said the biggest hockey game since ...
1980. No, I mean, let's not get lost in the moment. I mean, there's been a lot of big hockey times since the Gretzky. There's probably 10 of them that would get close, but I think right now we just kind of feel like we need it. And this is also a throwaway because it's hockey. So if we beat them, and if we lose, we wake up tomorrow and go, yeah, let's play football. Let's do our sport. Let's play baseball. Yeah. So there's a little bit of, if we lose, it's not a national disgrace. And we have the opportunity to play our brother. I mean, they're family. They're not close family, but they're family, and we can put it on them. It's the perfect storm.
I will say this: this game, there's people who are saying this is more important than the Stanley Cup, which is wild because I
appreciate
it. It's for all intents and purposes. It is an exhibition game. This is replacing the All-Star game. But I'm telling you now, they're saying that this will have better ratings than
the All-Star game for sure.
It says experts expect ratings rivaling a Stanley Cup Game 7 final or better.
I'm all for it. And this is a non-hockey fan. I don't care. But I care tonight.
Well, it says so in the article. It says the entire hockey, and then it crosses out hockey and says sports world will be watching.
It's gonna be 2-1. The hockey world was going to be there regardless. But I think that the national sentiment right now is we feel a little broken. We feel a little bit. And back in 1980, felt the same way. We were a little broken. Reagan taking office. We were coming out of recession. Things just weren't very clean, and we needed something to grab onto, to give us something to point at the dudes in the different colored hats and go, hey, America, and I think we kind of get the sense that we might get that opportunity tonight, or at least a reason to rally around something that we could all agree on, how much we hate the Canadians.
I do think obviously national pride plays a big part in it. You know what else I think? I think if the NBA realized that hockey had a home run on their hands, last night would have been the restart of the second half. Mm-hmm. And they'd have a 1-game slate tonight or something. Like they would have flip-flopped yesterday and today's slates. because now the NBA is back in full swing and nobody's going to be watching.
And it's going to be embarrassing when the numbers come out, and hockey's going to beat them.
But I mean, this is, again, I don't think anybody saw it coming that it was going to be this big. I even didn't.
No.
Like, I was like,
well, know what? I take the AJ. I'll give you credit. You were the first one to talk about this coming. I didn't even see it on the horizon. It just seemed to me some kind of, it's kind of like when they tried to make a big deal of playing a game outside. That's kind of how what this felt like. That's a novel idea, but I'm not going to tune in. But you're the first one to bring up, like, hey, this is some national pride stuff going on, and we didn't factor in the brother on brother, like teammates having to play each other in the middle of the season. Yeah. I think that's absolutely awesome. There's so many small threads that are going to feed into what I hope lives up. I don't know if we're better. We're probably not, and I don't know if we're going to win. But I hope the game itself lives up to what it should be.
I hope so too. And there's a lot at stake here. The Canada, this is all about, like, even though he's not their best player currently, Sidney Crosby is like a national hero in Canada. He's in the discussion, if not a lock, as like one of the 5 greatest players in history. Certainly one of the 5 greatest Canadian hockey players, which is
normally is all of them.
Yeah. He's 37 years old.
Wow, it's hard to imagine he's 37.
It is. Sid the
He's
Kid.
always going to be a kid in my mind.
Yeah, Sid the Kid, who came around like late in Mario Lemieux's career and was like,
and took the baton.
Yeah, but he is like, the guys who are playing with him talk about it like, imagine Michael Jordan playing with the Dream Team today.
And saying, this is the most important thing I can do.
Yeah. And everybody on the team is looking at him like, oh my, that's Michael Jordan. Like, and even the guys who are better than him, like Connor McDavid is the best hockey player in the world today. And he's looking at Sidney Crosby star-eyed, and he's on his team. So it's a big deal for his legacy. The Americans, the real story for them is, they're banged up. They've had guys go down in this tournament. They've had guys get beat up. Charlie McAvoy, who's one of their defensemen, he got an infection, had to go to the hospital. Quinn Hughes, who they got to replace him, he's not there with Team USA because they had some drama with his NHL team. And so now, even though he was their emergency guy, they would need another player to fall off for him to be allowed to play. So he's not even going to be available. So they're just a little shorthanded.
This team's saying, no, I don't want you to play, because
I didn't really understand the drama behind it, but he didn't end up going on the trip as an emergency player because there was drama with his NHL, with the Canucks, who's his NHL team. You've got both these teams in Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews are considered the 2 best young players in the world. One plays for each. That's like there's people who say this is going to define their careers going forward. You know what? One of the coolest stories about this whole thing is John Cooper, who is the coach of Team Canada. I found this out a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I can't believe that's true. Hockey Canada and USA Hockey both wanted John Cooper to be their head coach. They called him within 10 minutes of each other back in 2017. They both needed a coach for the World Championship. Canada called 10 minutes before the US did and offered him the job.
And he took it without.
He took the Canada job. Yeah.
I probably would have done that.
They said, will you run?
Is he Canadian?
I don't think so.
Well, if they win, he can't come back.
Will you run Canadian hockey? And he was like, I mean, that's obviously it seems like a pretty damn good deal.
But he's American?
Nope, he was born in Canada.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he'd be allowed back home.
His
Turners still win.
His wiki says he is a Canadian American professional ice hockey coach.
Not American Canadian?
Canadian American. So I don't know how that would be differentiated, but
sounds like a heifer to me.
I think he might be.
I don't trust him.
Well, US wanted him, didn't get him. but he's the coach of the Lightning, the Tampa Bay Lightning. But that's a cool understory that both teams wanted him, and like it came down to that.
Give me more plot lines. I'm serious. We need it because I don't know any of these players. I honestly don't. I mean, I'll know the names, but I don't know. I know them by name and highlight. I don't know anything about them.
I told those the Kachuk brothers. You're going to see those guys tonight. They're the guys who were
father and son.
They were the guys throwing down. So, dude, I'm stoked for this game. I really think the U.S. has a chance to win. The odds say it's a pick 'em, but the odds also say that at the beginning of this tournament, Canada was a favorite over the U.S. Now, the U.S. has beat them once, which probably, helped shape it the other way. But I do think watching Canada against Finland the other day, Canada got up 4-0. They ended up winning 5-4 or 5-3.
Did they ease up or did
no? I think they just have a hard time closing out games, and a lot of it is Canada. We talked about this at the beginning of the tournament. Canada has gone away from really growing goaltenders, so they were generally regarded coming into this tournament as having the best skaters and the weakest goaltenders. And late in games, especially when teams get into desperation mode and they put 6 skaters on the ice. And
couldn't withstand the onslaught.
Yeah. So they let a team back in it that had no business being in it with them. And the U.S. is good enough that if you give them something, they're going to run on you.
And the game's in Boston, so we got it here.
Home court or home ice advantage. I don't think I'll bet on it. I kind of want to bet on Team USA just to have, more than a rooting interest, but I don't really need anything. But I'm going to be all in on this game tonight. I am certainly watching it. Their goalie, Jordan Bennington, has been pretty rough all tournament, and they're rolling with him. He's expected to start tonight. So their backup option is Aiden Hill, who's not great. He's the Golden Knights goalie. He's okay. But yeah, for USA, it's all about who's going to be dealing with injuries. They sat out Austin Matthews last game against Sweden, because the U.S. was already in the finals. So they had a couple guys sit out who could have played.
Yeah.
They didn't, you could tell the U.S. wasn't really interested in trying to win that game. They didn't care.
Both those guys said if they had to, they could have played.
Yeah. So it was all about getting to this game. They were able to rest Connor Hellebuck against Sweden. He's the best goalie in the world, has been for the last 2 or 3 years. So, and even with the backup goalie, a backup goalie, not even really trying, the U.S. lost 2-1 to Sweden. So they said we are preparing everything for this final game against Canada. Hopefully they get that rolling tonight. But I expect that front line, that Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, and JT Miller, that threw down right when the party started. I expect a lot of physicality early on in this game, and I think the fights and all that from the first game means there's some bad blood in this thing. It's like it's going to feel like a game that matters, which is kind of awesome. And we don't get these very often in sports, period. But this feels like it's a game that I know non-hockey fans are going to watch tonight. I think there's going to be like people who aren't really sports people who watch just to see how it works out.
Absolutely, red, white, and blue. I'm reading the questions and some of the stuff that the U.S. is going to have to deal with. And the best kryptonite for an aggressive forecheck. What is that? Because a dynamic puck-moving defenseman such as Maker, who's equally dangerous at skating his way out of trouble and snapping a breakout pass. I like that. What's a forecheck, though?
I mean, it's
is that an offense?
No, forecheck. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it necessarily. Yeah, it's the best way to break out of a team that is
it's like breaking a press.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to translate it.
Get the puck to the middle.
Yeah,
basketball. Get the puck to the middle and find your angle. That's how you break the press.
Canada's also, like I mentioned, that Charlie McAvoy is not going to be able to play, and he was in the first game against Canada. He was a big deal for us, for the U.S. Shea Theodore, who is Canada's one of their top defensemen, is out as well. We talked about that. He plays for the Golden Knights. He's done for the rest of the tournament and probably beyond. So both teams a little shorthanded on defense. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game than the first one. I My prediction is 4-3 USA.
If it's that many goals, it's perfect. Even if the U.S. wins, if there's lots of scoring and lots of excitement, and there's a 1-goal separation going into the third period,
that's the hope.
It's a win. Everybody gonna win happy because most people ain't gonna see the end. Most people are gonna leave because they're passing fans. But if you get them in there for a minute, you might get them back.
I think that I don't think it can be 0-0 because
boring. We can't do that.
Yeah, that's like watching a soccer match, and nobody wants that. I do think that it needs to either be a U.S. blowout. Like it needs to be like 6-1 where it's just an offensive explosion on one end. But I think the preferable thing to get casual fan interested would be 3-3 in the middle of the third period, and the next goal wins. But I do think that that hockey as a sport has a chance to make some fans tonight that probably wouldn't have been hockey fans otherwise.
Can you imagine where hockey is sitting today? If you'd have told them where they'd be sitting, with this after an all-star game and go, wow, we finally hit on one. Finally.
Seriously.
Gary Bettman finally did something right. Well, he's been doing right things for a while, actually. But he's got the reputation as being the worst. And NHL continues to grow, and they finally got something right. I'm actually looking right now at the hockey sweaters.
How much is the Team USA?
I could get one with a hoodie for $147.
Okay.
But,
those are pretty cool looking.
It is cool. So, maybe there's some swag sales coming.
Oh, I'm sure if they win, I guarantee you there will be USA hockey gear that you see. I don't know. It
looks pretty good.
Might not be much in San Antonio, but people will buy that stuff up. My guess is tonight. Remember when I was trying to buy that Army hoodie on Army Navy Day, and as soon as the TV broadcast started up and people saw them, they were sold out everywhere, and I had to wait. Like I think I waited. There was knockoffs available. I didn't want the knockoff one. I wanted that Nike one, and I waited about 5 days, and somebody returned one, and it was like, we've got one back in stock, and I bought it. Nice. But I think people are going to see that tonight, and there's going to be people buying up gear tonight, and there might be some people buying up. If there's some guy who has a big game, scores a game-winning goal, people are going to buy that gear. It's going to be fun. Like somebody's going to score a goal tonight, and people are going to say, that's my favorite team now.
Let's make a hero. Let's get a hero tonight.
That's my favorite team now. Whatever NHL team that guy plays for. Hopefully it's Jack Eichel. And that's the best guy for the Knights. Hopefully he's the one who scores the game winner for Team USA. You'll be able to see that I want to say I think it's on ABC.
I think they've gone national with this. I do think it's ABC. I'll tell you.
It's ESPN and ESPN Plus. So
7 o'clock. Be there, be square.
I will be there. I got no other sporting interest tonight outside of that. I'm all in on the hockey game. All right, let's hit a break. We'll wrap up hour number 3, and I got to tell you guys about Cerebral. Cerebral is making mental health care more available, more accessible to us, and that's a key thing, man. We live in a time where there's frustrating stuff all over the news, all over the internet. You see it every day, and you're wondering what the hell's going on in this world. And it's hard to distract. Sometimes everything else going on in the world distracts you from what you've got going on in your life. And every once in a while, it's nice to focus on you a little bit. And that's where Cerebral comes in. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication that's personalized to you to get your mind in the right place. And the best part is they offer in-network care, so you can worry about that without worrying about the bill coming at the end. 72% of people say they're feeling better after just 12 weeks of treatment. Personally, I've been going through a major life transition. I moved to San Antonio. My family is still in Las Vegas for a couple more months. That's tough, man. And having someone to talk to those things about really can go a long way. Cerebral, they make mental health care easy, accessible, more affordable. What are you waiting for? And you can do it all from the comfort of your home. You don't got to go sit in an office somewhere. They make it as easy as they can for you. They're proud to be an official sponsor of the Spurs. And just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health, just as important. Cerebral's here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. So take that first step today. Visit Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with your insurance. Cerebral, make time for Mind Time.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a new trouble spot on 35 southbound right as you approach Olympia Parkway, Selma area. Already a 30-minute delay. That's what's causing delays from Wieterstein. Again, that's 35 southbound approaching Olympia Parkway. Got a major accident working with about a 30-minute delay. 90 westbound General Hudnell, that's a stall blocking the median. And through downtown, this ongoing road work 35 southbound Main to Cesar Chavez, lower level. It's got the roadway reduced to 2 lanes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. If you feel like owning a home is out of reach, Rocket is here to give you back the keys because they believe everyone deserves a shot at the American dream. Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET. Again, that's rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
When life changes fast, you need a lawyer who's been there. AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks offers unique experience as a veteran and first responder to give you a strategic, results-driven approach. Facing divorce, child custody battle, or a complex family dispute, the Hicks Law Firm offers flat fee representation from beginning to end, so you know exactly what to expect with no surprises. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win. The Hicks Law Firm.
Join the Blitz today for a live broadcast from Round Table Pizza, Park North. Have a slice, talk sports, and enjoy delicious pizza and cold drinks. Plus, score some deals during happy hour starting at 3. See you at Round Table Pizza in Park North.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Hey you, I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the way to do it, Vic. I hope we're hearing some music like this tonight.
I have a feeling we'll go to break hearing this.
I was telling Rob, I was thinking about going out and watching the game somewhere.
Right.
I'm wearing a hockey jersey, but my only 2 hockey jerseys, one of them's a Canadian guy and one of them's a Swedish guy.
Never mind.
I've got a Carlson and a Marchessault.
Well, I mean, Carlson's close.
It's got 2 S's, Carlson. That's how you can tell they're Swedish. Yeah. If it was Carlson, Carlson, maybe. Right. This is Karlsson.
And probably got one of those weird dots over the wrong
letter.
Yeah,
no dots. But yeah. So I'm gonna sit at home and watch. I don't know. I'm gonna eat a hot dog. Maybe I want to do something. I want to make sure
Apple pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we'll be hearing. And the Canadians are going to boo. And guess what? If you boo, we're going to whoop your ass again. We're going to fight you, Bubba. It's a fight.
You wonder if they'll drop.
I don't think well, first of all, it's going to be in the U.S. So I don't believe they will boo the national anthem today. They might boo the Canadian national anthem, which but I don't know
That's
that
what we need.
I don't know if that'll make the Canadians want to fight. But also, stakes are a little higher this time,
and we beat them.
Yeah,
I mean, they lost 3-1. We handled them easily.
They want the revenge.
I'll say this: I think if they're going to fight, it's going to be they will not put their best players on the ice to start the game, because you don't want to fall into the penalty box with one of your better players early on in the game. They'll put goons out there and let goons fight.
So we'll know by their starters.
We'll know by who's on the ice. I don't expect it again. I kind of hope for it, but I don't expect it. But also, as someone who wants the U.S. to win, we have enough beat up people, like enough hurt people on our team that we don't need to get anybody hurt fighting.
That we can't.
Yeah, don't take any chances. Stay geared up. Stay safe out there. Did you see this story about Dustin May, the Dodgers pitcher?
No.
So Dustin May last year ended up not playing. He during the 2023 season, he had Tommy John surgery and he had flexor tendon surgery. So he had double surgery. He's rehabbing in Arizona. This was in July. And the plan was for him to be back for the World Series run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's one of their starting pitchers, and they planned on having him back. Well, he went out for dinner, and he got a piece of lettuce stuck in his throat. He said it seemed like a normal situation. He sat down, he had a salad, and it felt like it got stuck.
Okay.
And he was like, it ended up requiring emergency surgery.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. He says it was definitely a life-altering event. Definitely very serious, not a common surgery. It was an emergency. I probably wouldn't even made it through the night if I didn't have this surgery. He took one bite of his salad. The lettuce got stuck in his throat. He tried to wash it down with water. And then he said he felt a mega painful sensation in his throat and stomach for 15 minutes. And when it went away, he went home and thought, oh, okay, everything's fine. He's like, I'm not a big panicker. It kind of chilled out. So I was like, I'm fine. I don't need to do anything. His wife said, I think you should just go to the ER and get it checked out. If it still feels weird at all, go get it checked out. And like getting a piece of lettuce stuck in your throat shouldn't cause you this kind of issue. He had to undergo a full abdominal surgery.
Oh my God.
To repair a tear in his esophagus. He explained that doctor said he had lettuce lodged in his throat that led to a highly uncommon food impaction, which perforated his esophageal tube.
Oh my.
Now he's got a long vertical scar from his lower chest to his stomach from the surgery. The surgery required 6 months of recovery, during which he wasn't allowed to lift weights heavier than 10 pounds. He said it was extremely frustrating. He was rehabbing an elbow injury. He's like, I thought I was going to be able to get back in time for a stretch run with my guys, and instead I've got this whole new issue. He says it just wasn't on my bingo card for 2024. He began minimal throwing activities in November. He said he wasn't back to his full throwing strength until January. And he said it's given me kind of a different viewpoint on life, just seeing how something is so non-baseball related can be like, it can be gone in a second. He said it's very scary.
Oh, well, from now on, he's only eating shredded lettuce.
I would not eat salad anymore if I don't like salad to begin with. Now I know it can kill you.
There's
possibly.
a reason right there.
I mean, that's a terrible thing.
Don't eat salads. It'll kill you.
He threw during a spring training workout at Camelback Ranch on Sunday. The Dodgers opening series against Chicago is March 18th and 19th in Tokyo.
I feel so bad for the Dodgers. It's just one bad thing after another.
Right.
That poor
Just
team.
Poor team.
I mean, Ohtani with only one arm. I mean, can we ask enough of these guys?
Yeah, you're right. It is the very
I
difficult.
hear Freddie Freeman's got a cold.
Has
it sucks to be a Dodger fan. It's just one bad luck thing after another.
I don't know if it's going to happen. The Cubs announced that Shota is going to be the opening day starter for their game in Japan. And,
they haven't, but they better.
Well, if Ohtani had pitched last year, I know he would be the opening day starter. I don't know. I mean, I assume the plan is for Ohtani to pitch this year, and if he is, it's got to be Shota versus Ohtani.
It better be.
I hope it is.
I mean, that's the only reason I'd tune in.
But yeah, we'll see what the Dodgers decide to do. I mean, I'm sure Japanese fan wants to see Ohtani pitch.
You get Ohtani play regardless, you can get away.
You might
with
also get to see, like, it might be cool for the Japanese fans to see Clayton Kershaw. I don't know what they want, but or I don't know what high-priced free agents
to go see Godzilla. Let's not kid ourselves. They want to see Shota Ohtani. That's what they're chasing.
I don't know what the Dodgers rotation is going to look like this year. But my guess is that it says here, it looks like the Dodgers the Dodgers figure to begin the season with a 5-man rotation.
New baseball.
Until Ohtani returns to the mound. So they are right now they're planning on having a 5-man staff until Ohtani's back in as a pitcher sometime in May. And then they're going to go to a 6-man rotation. So it won't be Shota in Japan. All right, it'll be Shota for the Cubs. It won't be Ohtani for the.
Ohtani could be at the bat.
He'll bat.
Yeah, that's
sure.
what I'm saying. I want to see the bat versus the pitch. So I would be happy with that.
Oh, but I forgot that they've got Yamamoto. So it's going to be Shota versus Yamamoto, probably the first game.
Godzilla versus Mothra,
and then it'll be Tyler Glasnow, and looks like Blake Snell.
Not quite a King Kong there. Maybe Glasnow's close.
Yeah, he's pretty up there. Roki Sasaki.
No, that's Megalon.
Yeah. So yeah, so you'll get to see some you'll still be fun for the Japanese fans, I'm sure, but it won't quite be what we thought. All right. Man, well, this you know what? We did get they came in, they gifted us one more pair of these Jerry Cantrell tickets for the Aztec Theater on the 27th, the with Filter, the I Want Blood tour. I do want blood. I hope there's blood all over the tour. I hope that there's
all over the tour.
There's violence in there's a mosh pit. Probably won't be at that show, but that'd be cool if it was.
The mosh pit would have been 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Those guys were moshing then. Now they're sitting down and asking people to be quiet.
Which, by the way, that's my favorite kind of concert. Assigned seating concerts, old people concerts.
Sit down.
Guys, can you sit down in front of us? We can't see the show.
Just chill here.
I love that. I love it. But if you want to go see that show, Jerry Cantrell, that's February 27th. Is that a week from today? Today's the 20th. Yep. You know what? Today's the 20th.
We do math.
February 27th. That tracks. You can go see him at the Aztec Theater. Caller number one. Let's make it simple. Bing. First caller, you get tickets to go see Jerry Cantrell at the Aztec Theater with Filter on that tour, the I Want Blood tour. Rob, we've got 1 hour of show left for the people.
They're due a good hour.
They are due a good hour.
I've been pacing myself.
Good. You know what? It's time to take off the bridle.
Close hard.
It's time to just get out the whip.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it to the house, baby. We'll do that. We will, of course, talk some things non-sporting in the last hour, as we are wont to do. And of course, we'll wrap up with the daily lines, but we've got more to discuss coming up in this last hour. It is the Morning Huddle on 94. Although, there we go. There we go. On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
on your ride to work. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-471-5897. 800-471-5897. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-471-5897.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
San Antonio, get ready. Cody Canada and The Departed are bringing their high-energy red dirt, alt country, and rock and roll to Sable Hall at the Pearl on Saturday, February 22nd. Doors open at 7 p.m. Grab your tickets now at SableHall.com before they're gone. Cody Canada and The Departed live at Sable Hall February 22nd.
Join the Blitz today for a live broadcast from Round Table Pizza, Park North. Have a slice, talk sports, and enjoy delicious pizza and cold drinks. Plus, score some deals during happy hour starting at 3. See you at Round Table Pizza in Park North.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay this midday is this accident in Selma involving an overturned vehicle. 35 southbound approaching Olympia Parkway. All it gets by one lane. It is causing delays back to Fisher, so tack on at least an extra 55, 60 minutes to your commute through that area, or better yet, just avoid it if you can. 35 southbound approaching Olympia Parkway. Heavy backup. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, time saver traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs are finally coming home. Well, kinda. They're playing in Austin tonight and will face Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns at 8:30 at the Moody Center. The NFL has informed its teams that the 2025 salary cap will be roughly $277.5 million, or up to $281.5 million, which is an increase of nearly $26 million over last year. That sound you hear is players applauding. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nathan Hughes, congrats, Bubba. Nathan Hughes going to see Jarrett Cantrell.
Quick draw, Nathan Hughes.
Yeah, I had to be caller number 1. He did it, man. Good for you. Caller number 2, sorry, man. Sucks to be you. But I think that might be our last. I don't know if we'll have a pair tomorrow. But we'll see. If we do, I'll let you know and I'll give them to you. I like to give to the people. Jason has got me going to that U2 concert.
Oh yeah.
Vic, did you decide if you're going to go?
No, I'm not going to go.
You suck, man. I'll hang out by myself, I guess. You're going to bring your wife, Rob?
Of course.
Yeah, it's just going to be me. You know, I don't have any hot chicks who are lining up to go.
Know.
Don't have any hot chicks.
None.
So if your wife wants to bring one of her hot teacher friends, you know, got a wild ass friend
who
likes to party.
You might bite off more than you can chew on this one.
Hey, the Blitz is live today. You're looking live, folks, at the Blitz, starring Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix. Is there a statute around here where you've got to say Joe and Jason or Jason and Joe? Is there a preferred order?
I think it's Jason and Joe.
Okay. Is that per?
I'm just by the. I don't think there's anything official other than the order of what the skins look like. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
What
alphabetical.
What do ours say? Are ours AJ and Rob or Rob and AJ?
It's always AJ and Rob.
Is it? Oh, it's
alphabetical. It'd be Jason and Joe, same way.
Is that the way it usually goes? Alphabetical.
J-A-J-O. Yeah. Or
hosting, co-host.
Time spent.
Okay. Well,
or first in, first out kind of stuff.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, when I do the podcast, I always do AJ and Rob.
Okay. So I should say Jason and Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
yeah. That sounds good.
Joe and Jason sounds more roll off the tonguey, but
Joe and Jason.
But if it's listen, either way, same. Jason and Joe will be at Round Table Pizza, 410 Loop 410 Park North location, 842 Northwest Loop 410, the Park North Shopping Center. They're going to be there from 2 to 6. How about that, Bubba? And we got one other thing to talk about. You're going to be excited about this, Rob. Tomorrow, join the Blitz at the clubhouse off Broadway near the entrance to Brackenridge Golf Course.
Okay.
It's the official kickoff party for our spring golf tournament presented by Flight by Yingling.
Nice.
That's right. We are going to have there's going to be a putting contest to give away a flight foursome for the tournament.
There's reason to be there.
That's April 14th. It benefits the Pan American Golf Association. And it's going to be out at the Golf Club of Texas. You can join us April 14th out at the Golf Club of Texas for the Spring Golf Classic presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. You can register online at sasportstar.com. It's $120 per person, or you can sign up your whole foursome for $400 and save. It's Monday, April 14th, 9 a.m. at the Golf Club of Texas for our spring golf tournament presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Also brought to you in part by Ancira Auto Group, Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, Thirsty Horse, Renewal by Anderson, Scissors and Scotch, the Reynoso Agency Farmers Insurance, and the Rue Pub. And then afterward, there's going to be a live broadcast for the Blitz at Hangar Bar. So we got all kinds of stuff going on. But again, that's Friday's show, the Clubhouse, 2300 Avenue B, just off Broadway, with Flight by Yingling. So we're starting to promote that golf tournament, baby. I'm excited.
It's going to be fun. Golf Course of Texas, I played out there this weekend. They're going to play host again. They continue to upgrade the course. Brand new cart pass, new well, what's the word I'm looking for? They've got brand new kind of course design. It's a beautiful course. It's good shape. I can't wait to go out and everybody see it.
Well, the place we did the tournament last time had a really, really cute cart girl.
Still there.
Okay.
They have an eye for talent.
They have got cute cart girls at okay, good. Well, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. Everyone knows that. Huge deal. All right. As we I guess we can get back into the real world of news now. Make this a serious program again. There is a story on CBS about the best defensive players available in free agency. And it got me to wondering, as the Cowboys defense is, I don't want to say in shambles, but it's got problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's got problems. And I wanted to see if any of these guys you think are a fit. The number one guy on the list is probably not a fit. He is it's Josh Sweat, Eagles outside linebacker Josh Sweat. Cowboys have their own guy that is in that mold, a better version of that, and Micah that they are going to have to pay.
And Sam's here. They got mobile linebackers. Dan Quinn liked that style, so they've got a couple of those guys.
Yeah, but he's considered the best available defensive player in free agency. Linebacker Zach Bond is another Eagle, is number 2. He just made a switch to inside linebacker. He signed a 1-year, $3.5 million contract and agreed to switch positions. And in that 1 year, made Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro. Like, I got to give kudos to that. They say, hey, man, you're an outside linebacker, edge rusher. You're now an inside linebacker. We're going to give you a little bit of money on a 1-year deal to figure this out. And you make first team All-Pro. Respect. Somebody's going to pay him. I would imagine it'll be the Eagles. This is good news if you are a Cowboy, though, a Cowboy fan. The top 3 on this list all come from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Which means they're exiting.
Defensive tackle Milton Williams is the third guy on this list. He's the one that I would think the Cowboys would be most interested in. But I think he's going to get probably more money than the Cowboys can afford to throw out.
Let's skip to the free agents that do offensive things like linemen. Are there any of those?
This is just the top defensive free agents.
Okay. What about defensive guys that are actually close to the ball? Are there any of those?
Well, that one was the first one. Milton Williams is the first one. The next defensive tackle that comes up on the list is Osa, number 7.
Well, that makes sense. So Cowboys,
he'll get it says he'll get a. His pressures were the most at the position in the entire NFL this season, the second most behind only Zach Allen at 75. So he's going to get paid. He's going to get a good long-term deal somewhere, and I don't think it's going to be the Cowboys.
Well, sadly, they're one of their few hits in free agency and drafting is going to have to leave because they can't afford it.
Yes, more than likely.
Right. Anybody else with their foot in that, with their hand
knuckle
in the dirt?
There is another Cowboy on the list, not a knuckle in the dirt, but Jordan Lewis comes in at number 17. It says one of the NFL's most versatile defensive backs, mainly a nickel, but played outside corner well when the all-pro corners, Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs, pressed him into duty. The injuries pressed him into duty. His football IQ makes him a strong blitzer and instinctual against the run. He just turns 30 before the season begins, but he'd be a great addition to any squad's secondary and locker room.
You know, the best thing that could happen to Jordan Lewis is to leave.
I think so too.
He is so underappreciated with the Cowboys, and there's a reason behind it. He's our third best cornerback.
Yeah,
and he needs to get played and play like the best cornerback. He's gone and probably needs to leave.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he'll go on and be a very good player someplace else.
It's the one spot where the Cowboys have depth.
Yeah.
Although last year you wouldn't have known it because of the injuries, but it's the one spot on defense where you feel like the Cowboys are kind of covered and you've got almost a glut of talent there. And Jordan Lewis is too good to be sitting around
It's
waiting.
too bad that we can't move him for product, but it is what it is. Let him go with God.
Number 21 on the list is DeMarcus Lawrence.
Nope.
Says
fare thee well.
He'll be turning 33, but he showed he can still be a disruptor on the edge. 3 sacks, a forced fumble, 4 tackles for loss in 4 weeks of play before he injured his foot. It says if he can join a team that already has a clear-cut number 1 edge rusher, he can be a fine complement to that player as a starter on the opposite side of the defensive line.
A yeoman who was paid and treated like a star. He's been a very good football player, but treated and paid better than what he's offered. And he's offered a fair amount. I mean, he's been a very good football player, but he has never been what was being paid to do.
Here's an interesting option for the Cowboys. Levi Onwuzurike from the Lions, the defensive lineman who kind of played all over their defensive front when he plays. That's the issue with him. It says he's got the build, 6'3", 290, and skill set to be a versatile impact player along any team's defensive line. He's still not even 27, but through 4 NFL seasons, he's missed 25 games to injury. It says if he can improve his durability, he's a value signing on the open market with the ability on the interior and on the edge. To me, that's interesting if you're the Cowboys because yes, there's injury concern like there is with every football player, but if you're getting value because of that on a player that has a higher ceiling, that's something the Cowboys need to look for.
And also, somebody else has graded that talent. For me, I don't trust their eyes sometimes. And if the guy is still in the league and it's the only reason, that he hasn't been a player is because he hasn't been healthy, that's enough to get him here. But to me, more than anything else is the Lions liked him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we've liked some people that everybody hated. Nobody was chasing Mozzie Smith in the first round. We were.
You don't want a guy that the Cowboys
exactly. So you tell me you like him, I might like him too.
So there you go. That's the guys who maybe could help out. I think.
You know what you're telling me, AJ, is there's not an answer at defensive line. If they're going to get something, it's going to have to be through the draft.
I tend to think that is the case
because any one of those guys is probably going to be far more expensive than we want to pay. Not that they're going to be really expensive. Just to us, it's going to look really, really high for a short-term benefit and an imminent exit. I just think they're going to have to end up drafting, and I don't like that at all.
The other NFL thing, I found this interesting. The Athletic did a list called the NFL's 50 under 40, which you would think,
isn't that all of them?
Yeah, but it's not talking about players.
Oh.
It says a list of rising coaches, executives, personalities, and other personnel who significantly impact the NFL and will continue to do some in coming decades.
Personalities.
Yes.
It's interesting.
So it says some candidates were nominated by their colleagues, their bosses, or even their players, others by high-profile team and league sources, and still others by our vast network of beat writers. Candidates were discussed and debated over the span of several months and via team and league sources, and eventually the group was narrowed to 50 names. Media members who directly cover the NFL as broadcast, print, podcast, or digital journalists were not considered. Active players are not considered. In the case of analysts, broadcast booths, and personality-driven show hosts, they were considered. So, some of the list, it's in alphabetical order, so it's not listed as like a ranking sheet. But David Blau, the Washington Commanders assistant quarterbacks coach, who he was playing not that long ago.
Is there anybody that's involved with the Washington coaching staff that isn't going to be on this list? Because who's their OC? I like that. Who's the quarterbacks coach? I like him, because success breeds.
Yeah. Brian Johnson is on that list. Let's see who else from Washington is on that list. Nope, that's it. So those. Oh no, Brandon Sosna, who's the senior VP of football operations, is on the list, and that's it for them. Now, some of the other names on the list: Joe Brady, the OC for the Bills; Liam Cohen, the Jags head coach, is on the list. Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Bears, is on the list. Gerard Johnson, the quarterbacks coach of the Texans,
It seems like he was just playing.
He was just playing. He played for a long time. Mike McDonald, the head coach of the Seahawks, who did a very good job in year one. Sean McVay, the coach of the Rams. I don't know if he'll ever turn 40. But yeah, he's still got it. Kellen Moore, head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Should be.
Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Vikings.
Absolutely. He might be the number one on this list.
Zach Orr, DC of the Ravens, is on the list. Drew Petzing, the OC for the Arizona Cardinals. Dan Pitcher, the OC for the Cincinnati Bengals, who it doesn't take a genius to do his job. I can tell you that much right now. I think I don't want to say anybody can do it, but you give me Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, I can probably make a pretty decent chicken salad.
Absolutely.
Out of that. Davis Webb, who was playing not that long ago. He's the QB coach for the Denver Broncos. Did a good job year one with old Bo Nix. DJ Debick, who's the pro scouting director for the Houston Texans, made the list of local note. James Gladstone, who is the director of scouting strategy for the Rams.
Right.
I just point him out because he's the only one who I saw that title for.
It's an interesting title. What is that?
I guess I don't know if he's their head scout or he's the guy who, like an analytics guy who decides these are the kind of things we're looking for.
I have to assume that's it.
Alec Hallaby is a 38-year-old assistant GM for the Philadelphia Eagles. I would say he's done a pretty decent job. Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears, is on this list. And you may notice that I haven't mentioned, well, I'll hit some of these media guys real quick, like Moses Ano, who is the CEO of Blitzfits.
What is that?
I think it's a clothing company. Sophie Gage is the VP of Business and Affairs for NFL Players, Inc. So these are from all types. I think Jason Kelsey makes the list from the New Heights podcast.
That's the personality part of this.
Yeah. Greg Olson made the list. But what you'll notice is there was not a mention of anyone with the Cowboys.
I was going to say, I didn't hear Shoddy and what's the new OC's name? Kendall? Cody? Clayton Adams. I didn't hear that name.
Yeah, well, Brian Schottenheimer's in his 50s. You weren't going to hear him.
Oh, I thought he was a young rising star.
No.
I thought he was about to become.
No, if you believe that. You would maybe be sold on that. But it brings me to the question, do the Cowboys, do they keep too much of an old guard? Like, do they need to bring more youth into the building to
there's guys that have been in that building since Valley Ranch, man.
Yeah.
The thing about Jerry is, and anybody who recently watched Landman, as I have, remember that bit he had where he talked about family? That applies to everything around him. There are guys that Will McClay. How long has Will McClay been part of this? I mean, he is the de facto talent acquirer. I mean, he's the talent finder anyway.
58 years old.
And he's been there probably 20 years.
Yep.
That's Jerry's problem and his great benefit. I mean, there is something to corporate knowledge, good, bad, or indifferent. You know how things work. You know where the bodies are buried. You know how things get things done. But with the Cowboys and the coaching staff, look at how he's done it. When he had Wade Phillips and he had Jason Garrett, fired Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett stays. Goes all the way through here, fires Jason Garrett, goes to the outside, but also brings Zimmer back. I mean, there's always something from the past there. And good, bad, or indifferent, that's how it works. There are some institutions, I think, that need to erase the past. Get rid of it all. Like the University of Miami should never look past 3 years prior. You're living too much in the 80s and 90s, Miami. You're living too much in the past, and the Cowboys are living too much in the past. And the reason is that half the people there were here. They're there to remember it.
To put it into perspective, Alex Loomis, who's the director of pro scouting for the Cowboys, been in the organization since 2009.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But there kind of is.
If you're successful.
Right.
You know, if you're winning regularly and things are coming through, there's no need. But again, that's his greatest strength sometimes with Jerry is it's in family. I trust everybody around me, but it's also his greatest weakness because he has got such a small pool of knowledge to draw from.
Mitch LaPointe, director of college scouting, been with the Cowboys since 2005. Like it's sometimes it's like, man.
See, that guy's been over college scouting that has drafted 3 times a bad defensive line. 3 different occasions you drafted poorly. And yeah, he's still here.
Yep. Very hard to lose your job with the Cowboys. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's going on outside the world of sports. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
You know, Connecticut water softeners are almost ubiquitous around South Texas because when you move down here, you're going to start hearing terms like hard water. And you go, what the heck does that mean? How can water be hard other than what it is like now outside at 19 degrees? Well, that hard water means something. There's stuff in that water you don't see. You know, you might taste a little bit. In fact, it tastes pretty good. Make some good sweet tea and fine light beer down here in South Texas. But that stuff is, you don't want it in your pipes. You don't really want it in your body. You certainly don't want it in your ice cubes or on your skin and in your hair or your dog drinking it either. You get a Connecticut water softener, that's the first thing you don't have to worry about ever again. That is a success. You don't have to worry about your appliances going bad too early. You don't have to call a plumber or worry about calling a plumber years earlier because, your pipes are clogged because you didn't have an up-to-standard water softener. That's out the window. Now you start to get focusing on the benefits. How does it change your life for the positive on a daily? If you buy a Connecticut right now, not only are you going to get a deal on your old water softener, they'll buy it back from you up to $400. They've got great financing rates to get you in to get it taken care of. But then they got the gifts, the P-loans. Right now, if you buy a Connecticut water softener, they're going to put a reverse osmosis drinking station at your sink. No charge at all. I had to pay for the thing. And let me tell you, it changed my life. No more water bottles. The water's fresh and ready for all your tea and your coffee. It is ideal in the modern kitchen. So how do you take advantage of it? If you'll call 656-PURE today, they're going to come out and put one of those Connecticos in your home for 90 days. You don't even have to make the decision today. 90 days, you can go ahead and buy it and take advantage of all the deals. But you got to make the call. That's 656-PURE. Go to the website. That's ConnecticutSA.com. All the details can be found there. Listen to me close. If you've been searching for the best, if you need to get the very best thing for your home, that water softener, call Connecticut, get the very best, and come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay this midday is this accident in Selma involving an overturned vehicle. 35 southbound approaching Olympia Parkway. All it gets by one lane. It is causing delays back to Fisher, so tack on at least an extra 55, 60 minutes to your commute through that area, or better yet, just avoid it if you can. 35 southbound approaching Olympia Parkway. Heavy backup. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
You know the Rue Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Rue Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Many of the successes you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Get started on your degree or certificate in San Antonio. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs, faster onboarding, and more from University of Maryland Global Campus. Get personalized local support services and take online or hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagel. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year? Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Are you facing divorce, a child custody battle, or a complex family dispute? AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks brings unique experience to the table. As a veteran and first responder, he knows the challenges, he knows the pressure, and he knows how to fight for what's yours. The Hicks Law Firm offers flat-free representation from beginning to end and payment plans so you can get representation now. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that Black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Rock's Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rock's the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rock's has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rock's know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
I got another poop question. Do all guys, or is it just me? When you have to do that at your house, I mean, it's a process, right? It's a 20-minute adventure.
Why would you sit in there any longer than you have to?
Well, because it's the only time that a guy gets some alone time. You can look at whatever you want. You don't have to worry about it.
What are you watching that you can only watch in the bathroom?
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Hey, did you say something to me before the segment started?
No, just that you gotta do a live commercial.
Okay.
And I'll write it on there.
Okay. Yeah, I nodded my head like I heard you, but I didn't.
That's training from home.
That's when you have a wife, you just say, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
you say.
whatever.
Yes.
I always like to see what's going on in the world outside of sports. And the rules are very strict in India. There's a lot of questions about freedom of speech in India.
The largest democracy in the world.
Yeah. But is it really a democracy? I don't know.
They are.
Okay.
They have a.
You got a fair and
They've got a
balanced
British
system.
They've got a House of Commons kind of thing.
Okay. Well, there's a guy named Ranveer Alabadia. Was on a comedy show. It's called India's Got Latent. I think it means talent, but I don't.
It sounds like talent backwards.
Yeah. But he made a joke, and he's in trouble about making a joke on a comedy show because they said it was offensive. His conduct showed lack of responsibility and was condemnable. There is something that is dirty in his mind that has been vomited by way of this program, the judge said. Like, this is over a joke. Now, I'm gonna say the joke because in America, it's not it's nothing that it's a weird joke. Are both of your parents alive, Vic?
No, just my dad is.
Okay.
My mom passed about 2004.
Do you have a stepmom?
No.
Okay. Well, I was gonna use you for the joke, but I can't use it.
Yeah, no stepmom.
But he basically asked this guy, would you rather watch your parents have sex every day for the rest of your life, or join in one time and it stops forever?
Oh, God.
No.
I don't know if you need to go to jail for that, but
But those are your two choices.
You're living in a very interesting part of your brain if you came up with that one.
I know.
I don't want to know what else is going on in that melon.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not something fun to think about. But it is it is interesting to think about if you had to choose one.
I don't
if
even
you had
know.
Sophie's choice. But it's also crazy to think that in other countries that you can like go to jail for indecency for making a joke
on
a comedy show.
Jeez.
He's had to come out and make a public apology on his YouTube channel, had to remove all videos of the show from YouTube, and said he was, quote, fully cooperating with the attorneys. I mean,
wow.
Is that, am I crazy to think that that's like that's wild for a government?
It's not when you start thinking about the Indian government, and especially with
you just said it's
Modi.
a democracy.
It is a democracy, but it is a religious based democracy in that parties are kind of wrapped into their religion. You've got the Hindus and you got the Brahmins and you got the Muslims and all of that. And their party affiliation does kind of go to their religious sect or beliefs. And when you start playing that thing, you're talking about sex with your parents. I can see where maybe the local, I don't know, imam or whatever go, well, you can't do that, even though it is a democracy. They're based, most of their affiliations are going to go to religious lines more than party lines. You know what I mean? And Modi's a bit of a Trumpian. He views himself as a king-like kind of dude. He's out there.
Now, it does say that it says, I think we're facing a threat. This is a digital policy analyst. Says, I think we're facing a threat that this particular incident might be a trigger point for obscenity laws. The morality of the audience and the current political atmosphere is a very strong determining factor that decides whether our jokes are acceptable or not. And once a perception has been made about your content, no one can control its outcome. That is troubling. And apparently this is not the first time. Like for me, anything you say on a stage as comedy, it feels like it should be untouchable. Like it feels like there shouldn't be comedy that's out of bounds.
Well, in the United States, we've gone through it many times. Lenny Bruce in the 50s was arrested on obscenity charges more than once.
Yeah.
George Carlin, same way.
Yep.
Comedians are held to that. They are the reflection of society. And when that reflection does not really fit what the society views it as it should be, especially those that they're poking fun at, that's when we run into these obscenity laws.
Now, there are, like, when Michael Richards gets on stage and uses the N-word a bunch of times, he doesn't get arrested, but the court of, if
Public
the people
opinion,
are
you get canceled.
yeah, you could get canceled. And I'm not
social media destroyed him.
right.
Yeah.
But the idea of now in 2025, you say an offensive joke and you can get arrested for it. That's not even.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a nebulous thing, and everything has a place and everything. I always say it. It's like porn. I don't know what it is until I see it. I know porn when I see it. Now, I can't define it to you, but I know it when I see it.
Right.
And there are certain places you can say things, and we can go back to the oldest. You can't yell fire in a movie. You can't. Whether it's free speech or not, you're going to cause problems. And in some places, when you talk about stopping watching your parents having sex by having sex with them, that might be one of those. That's porn, man. You can't say that.
No.
So Veer Das, remember we gave away tickets to him.
Oh, yeah.
He came here. It says in 2021, he got in trouble for he made a joke. He said during a show, Doss described India as a country where people worship women during the day but gang rape them at night, and he got in big trouble for that. That same year, comedians Munawar Farooqui and Nalin Yadav were arrested for making allegedly objectionable remarks about Hindu deities while performing in an Indian state that's ruled by Modi's party.
See, the Modi.
Jailed for a month.
I'm telling you, when you're dealing with democracy that's intertwined with religion, and we're running into it here in the United States, you get some weird outcomes because you place your faith in the government, but you also place your faith in a God that's supposed to be bigger than that government, and you decide one way or the other. That's when we start getting into some lines that every democracy has to deal with. And you have to run into it about every 20 years as social mores and norms change. What am I allowed to say now that I couldn't then? And what can I never say again?
Yeah. You know how, like, I don't know what it's like to be from South Korea. From North Korea. It feels like these places where, like, North Korea has a different internet than we have, and everything is monitored and doctored for only North Koreans
You're
to
only
see.
allowed certain haircuts, right? Stuff like that.
I mean, it's
pretty strict.
I'm trying to think if it's the worst place to live in the world.
I think that
It's like being in a military.
Well, it would be, to me, that kind of life would actually be the worst because you have no decision in your life. At least if you're in a third world country, you can, take a raft out to the, get out of the country.
Yeah.
And in North Korea, that's it, man. You are sentenced to life as a North Korean citizen.
Well, North Korean troops are fighting in Ukraine, and they've been convinced now by their government that they're not just fighting the Ukraine, they're fighting South Koreans.
And they're showing up and they go, they don't look like South Koreans.
They don't. What are you going to do? You think they're questioning it? No, they do what they're told.
Well, I know, but they go to the battle lines and go, those aren't South Koreans.
Yeah.
Those guys are white.
Yeah, but they were told that they were like, they've been invigorated in morale and aggression to fight on behalf of Russia because they think they're killing South Koreans. Like they're like, yeah, the South Koreans are like the Ukraine's biggest ally. And that, I mean,
well, I've been reading,
Kim
they get
Jong-un
there,
tells it.
and they're getting there. They find out that it's not South Koreans, and they're all abandoning. They're all running for the hills.
Yeah. Well, there were two North Korean prisoners of war that were taken, and they like
where are the South Koreans at?
That's how they found out.
There's a bunch of white folks in here. I was told I was killing South Koreans.
The way that they put it is, which, by the way, South Korea is not sending military. They are like us, like the United States, technically an ally of Ukraine. Although, like, I don't know what we consider ourselves of Ukraine anymore, or like
after the election.
Yeah,
things changed.
Yeah, things have certainly changed. But South Korea is an ally of Ukraine, but they are not fighting.
Right?
They're saying, "Hey, man, like, we don't want you to fight." Or they're trying to keep peace, is what they want. This is what South Korea wants to do. But the North Korean government has informed troops and has them believing that Ukrainian drones are being controlled and operated by the South Korean military. So everything that's bad happening to,
I blame most of my problems on the South Koreans.
I mean, that seems to be the way they're doing it.
Style hit, I haven't been the same.
Yeah,
my life has not been the same.
At the time they were captured, it says here, usually Russians and other North Korean soldiers finish off their wounded and do everything to prevent evidence of the participation of another state in the war against Ukraine from being preserved. It's reported that North Korean soldiers have been conditioned to take extreme measures, including detonating grenades to take their own lives rather than to be captured. And yeah, and they're doing this in a war that they think they're fighting that's totally different.
From the Seoul down there?
Yes.
Yeah, as far as you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of that same war, Russia, Vladimir Putin has there's a new bill that lets the public fight against terrorism. The State Duma committee has put forward a recommendation for deputies to have the right to utilize transportation including vehicles owned by civilians and businesses in the battle against terrorism, which means basically the intention is if you see, this is when what we consider active terrorism in the U.S. is different than what they consider in Russia, an act of terrorism, it could be like a protest.
Right.
If there's a protest going on, there's now saying, Putin said, if you see them protesting,
you got to go stop it. It's your duty as a citizen.
You run your car into that group. It's like,
wow.
Yeah. It's like, hey man, that's
that's another way to get you, because you didn't try to stop it. So you're just as guilty as those that were doing it.
Just like Rob with Lambeer.
Yeah,
I had my chance. I had my chance.
In Russia, it would have been allowed.
I might have gotten some kind of award.
You would have gotten a commendation.
I might have. I would have been comrade number one for the Spurs.
My gosh. Yeah. Can you imagine?
I'd have gotten first in line with the bread.
Season tickets.
They would have changed the name to the San Antonio Thompson.
And yeah, and I've gotten an extra bottle of vodka.
With
my food rations.
Oh man,
Comrade Thompson would be spoken of.
Yep.
Great praise.
Yep. Oh, those are the days. All right. Let's hit up our last break of this segment, and then when we come back, we'll take a look at the daily lines. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you about Karbach Brewing. Oh, sweet, sweet nectar. Karbach, my delicious, delicious friend. I'll have some Karbachs tonight while I cheer on USA against Canada. USA. But Crawford Bach, my favorite. That's my go-to. That's I think it's a great everyday drinker. It's good when it's cold outside. It's good when it's hot outside. I just love it year round. Hopadillo is their IPA. It's their flagship IPA. Super bitter, in-your-face hop profile that if you're an IPA fan, you like that old school IPA taste. That's what you're going after. If you want a little more balanced IPA, right now the Hoplectic is out. That's their seasonal IPA. It is a very well-balanced beer, very delicious. I've got some of that in my fridge as well. And, of course, Love Street, their best seller. That's the Cole-style blonde you'll find pretty much everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I'm not just talking about H-E-B or the liquor stores. I'm talking about bars and restaurants all over San Antonio. There's been a big push by Karbach to get their beer all over this fair city. And that means even the bars and restaurants where you think it's unlikely to be, where they don't drink fancy beer at my bar, they probably do have some Karbach on tap for you, or at least in a can. So when you're out, maybe you're out watching the hockey game tonight, maybe you're going up there to see Jason and Joe, or Joe and Jason at Round Table Pizza, whatever you're doing, go ahead and ask the bartender to please make it a Karbach.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Our own Reverend Charles, everybody. Good morning, Reverend.
You know, John, y'all little joke a lot. Captain joke a lot all the time.
Right.
And you funny.
Thank you.
J.D. Ryan, funny. Turley. Old pre-K.
Bobo's most funny.
No, I don't find Bobo funny at all. Remember that old song by Randy Newman, Show People?
Yeah.
Got no reason to live?
No,
that's Bobo right there.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
George Gets Justice. When you've been injured, you need to get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, because you need someone who understands your pain and the impact an accident has on your life. You need someone who listens and is always there fighting for you and your future. When you get George Salinas Injury Lawyers, you get all this and more. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. And remember, you won't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas at 210-225-0909. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbor's dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Join the Blitz today for a live broadcast from Round Table Pizza, Park North. Have a slice, talk sports, and enjoy delicious pizza and cold drinks. Plus, score some deals during happy hour starting at 3. See you at Round Table Pizza in Park North.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, look, they're talking to Stephen A. Smith about hockey.
Well, he's an expert.
Yeah. ESPN is so desperate to get Stephen A. involved in everything.
Well, they're paying him enough, man. You need screen time.
I mean, I remember when ESPN got the UFC contract and they had Stephen A. Smith there, and he was talking, and he would mispronounce all the names. He had no idea what he was saying, but they just presented him as an expert. And then finally, it was like, thankfully, they said, "Hey, man, let's not have you do this anymore."
Well, they needed somebody to interview Subban.
I mean, PK Subban's great. He is a great analyst. They could have anybody interview him.
Well, PK's used to hanging with white folks. He's played hockey. You don't have to have a,
That's true.
He's kind of used to it.
But he like Stephen A. being the one to talk to this guy about hockey. Stephen A. has no idea what he's talking about, and Stephen A. is going to present himself as an expert.
Yeah, but right now, today, we're all experts on hockey.
Everybody, you know what? You're right.
I'm going to be complaining about forechecking tonight
and icing. I'm going to be so mad.
There's all kind of blue line problems here.
Yeah.
You're not going to watch the game, Vic?
Oh yeah, I'll watch it.
Okay. Yesterday you weren't going to watch it. That means we convinced you.
Yeah.
We talked you into it.
I mean, I have never seen a hockey game from start to finish ever, much less 5-10 minutes of it.
I don't know if I'll make it from start to finish, but I'm going to see a fair amount of it.
If it's competitive, I'll make it start to finish.
Well, I mean, I'll see the end.
I'll see a little, to be honest, I'll probably just see it off and on here and there, and then maybe have it on in the background while I'm cooking later. And
what are you going to cook?
Tonight is just chicken breast and salad. No, chicken breast and salad.
Be careful with that lettuce.
Yeah, I got to be careful.
Chew well.
You swallow a piece of lettuce wrong, you'd have emergency surgery.
Right.
Or the cherry tomatoes could choke on them.
That's why I don't eat tomatoes.
What would be, like you said, tomatoes. An appropriate meal tonight would be like hot dogs and American food.
That's what, yeah.
Cheeseburgers and hot dogs.
If I were throwing a party, I would want poutine. I'd want that's Canadian food, but that's what I would have. I love poutine.
I got the diabetes, so I gotta, eat chicken breast and salad.
You can't have French fries and cheese curds and gravy.
Gravy over the top.
Those are the worst. Yeah.
Man, it's a shame.
Anything high carb? Nope.
I think gravy's low carb.
It's made with flour.
I'm sure it's low carb flour. Cheese curds have hardly any flour.
I think none.
I think none. Yeah.
No, I ate chicken fried steak one time with gravy and a little mashed potatoes. My sugar was like 310.
Oh, you're
never
all right,
again.
man. Big
I
deal.
was fine. I just couldn't see anything.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why he's like, I'll only see the beginning of the hockey game because by the end I'll be blind.
Yeah,
Blind,
it's like, who won? I don't know. Let me hear. At least I can hear it.
Give me another one. Give me some of that poutine.
Some more chicken fried steak.
Yeah, it was worth it though, to be honest.
So you don't eat chicken fried steak ever?
I mean, I do once in a while, but
do you get it with no gravy?
Yeah, with no gravy. Yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine eating a chicken fried steak with no gravy. You put ketchup on it or something?
Steak finger.
Nothing. Just whatever
Just
breading
dry,
is on it.
huh?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
There's,
oh my
there's
gosh,
been a couple.
That's like eating a biscuit from Popeyes dry.
We have not gone. We, AJ and I and a couple other guys from famous James from KTSA, Vic on occasion. We lunch it on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
we haven't done chicken fried steak.
We haven't.
We got to go to Bud Jones.
We got to. Well, Bud's got own issues. Bud's asking for business right now.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be worth it. Place down on Military that's legendary. But we need to go one of those chicken fried places where the meat hangs off the plate.
Yeah. Where the plate's just not big enough for it.
It's just like a silver, like a manhole cover steak.
Yeah, there's no room for sides.
What's the one that's left? The breakfast roll place used to be known for that, but they closed down entirely. And everybody knows what I'm saying when I don't actually name Lucy's.
Oh yeah.
Used to have giant chicken fried steaks.
AJ's favorite place, Little Red Barn, has one.
Yeah, Little Red Barn has a respectable, good size chicken fried steak.
I don't need a giant one. I just want a good one.
A good one? Oh yeah, then Little Red Barn. That's where I ate the
I would rather have
a
medium-sized good one than a giant one that's flavorless.
Yeah. There's something to be said where they roll out this platter of food.
I know, but then if it's no good, I want a good chicken fried steak. Yeah. I think it was. Is it Joe Reinagel? We talked about this. He puts ketchup on his chicken fried steak with the gravy.
If we'd have known that before he'd come on board, we would have had a discussion.
Yeah.
That would have been a deciding factor.
I'm almost tempted to cut off a little piece and try it just to see what the appeal would be. I've never even thought to do that before.
Well, the Mexican equivalent is putting ketchup on your tamales.
I know.
That's the same thing. That's just a crime. Don't even think about it. That's like that porn thing. Don't even think about watching your parents have sex. Don't even go there. You got to go to jail.
Just for thinking about it.
You just said ketchup and tamale in the same sentence. I'm going to have to put you in jail.
Thing.
But you put beans in your chili.
Yes, I do. Proudly.
But why aren't you going to jail for that?
Because it doesn't affect the flavor at all. It's about
I never understood that. Don't put beans in chili. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'll eat it either way.
I like it either way too. I think the only difference is you're not allowed to call it Texas chili if it's got beans in it.
See, I disagree with that as well.
Well, I mean, I think you
just because some guy in the Pecos Valley back in 1962 decided to have a chili cook-off and said no beans. They decided the whole world couldn't have beans and chili.
You can have it. You just can't call it Texas chili.
Texas chili. I live in Texas. I make chili. It's Texas chili.
Didn't you win a cook-off
I've won
beans?
2 of them with beans.
He's a champion.
I'm a twice champion.
Is that in the bean category or in the overall category?
It's chili category.
See?
All right.
Yeah.
I've had Rob's chili. I had it on a
category.
I had it on a Frito pie.
Well, that's how I do it though. I don't just go.
You don't eat just a bowl of chili?
No.
I like that too.
I do too, but that's not how I make it. Crackers are necessary, but I use Fritos.
I eat it with crackers. I can't really do Fritos or cheese, so.
Then you probably don't want beans. Chili's best for you would be the tomato-based meat and spice.
Yes.
Aren't those crackers made of flour?
I use the wheat crackers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're less carbs, but I can't eat that many, but I can eat more than regular.
All right. Wait, man, we got to hurry up. We got to look at the daily lines. You distracted me, Vic.
Yeah, all right.
There's only one thing. There's only one line.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Still a dead pick 'em. USA versus Canada. Over under 5.5 goals scored in the game. You got to pay a little juice on the under, so they think it's going to be a lower scoring game. But I'm hoping for a 4-3 U.S. win. That's my big hope. In the association tonight, Celtics laying 7.5 at Philly.
I like that.
You like the road team?
I like the Celtics.
Okay. The Grizz laying 2.5 in Indiana. I kind of like the Grizzlies. I do like the Grizzlies there. Knicks laying 12 at home against the Bulls.
Well, yeah,
that's a little much.
Well, Bulls don't want to win.
Cavs minus 13 in Brooklyn.
Well, dude, does Brooklyn.
Here's two teams that don't want to win. The Magic at the Hawks. Magic minus 1.5 in
Go
Atlanta.
Magic.
Go Magic, go. The Bucks. How about, I guess this is a Giannis-less line. Clippers minus 2.5 at Milwaukee.
That's a weird number.
That is a weird number.
I don't like that at all.
Oh my gosh, Charlotte plus 16 at the Nuggets. Plus
what do they know?
16.
Who's not playing? Who's not playing?
I don't know.
The script.
Did they bring in G leaguers?
If Ball is playing, I don't know, but
two-way contracts tonight. We've rented Matt McClung. He's playing for us tonight.
Yeah, the script leaked.
Phoenix minus 2 at Austin at the Austin Spurs. And the Lakers 3-point road favorites in Portland. This is the one I got the tip on last night. My buddy said,
now
hey,
listen to this. This might be worth chasing.
Yeah, he said, bet Portland plus 4.5. He told me this last night because if LeBron wasn't supposed to play last night, they played him. Chances are good he ain't playing on a back-to-back. Expect the line to crash. It's already down to 3. They haven't even announced LeBron out. I bet they do.
Thank him later.
And when they do, I expect the line to move even more. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Jason and Joe and Jason live at Roundtable Pizza off 410. Be there, be square.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.